all of our Band 2025 seniors. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's have one last congratulations to all of our senior parents and athletes from the band team, the dance team, the cheerleading squad, and the football team. Parents, at this time, we ask that you please return to your seats.
Wait, are we going on?
All right, we're back again here, and the one thing we want to talk about here are the keys to the football game. Alex, control the line of scrimmage seems to be a big one, and you return 4 starters on the line.
Absolutely. You know, if they can consistently get those 3, 4, 5-yard plays when they have to on early downs, get ahead of the sticks, it's definitely going to be big for them.
Win the turnover battle. Last year, the game St. Clair lost, they were minus in the turnover column. Splash plays were really big on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I think that's going to be big on Ethan Hellman, too. You know, he's a 3-year starter. He's got to take care of the ball, especially when they get into the red zone.
Yeah, Mount Lebanon Splash plays, very, very big. When you have a young team that inexperienced, doesn't have, you need to have big things go your way. You might not be able to sustain a drive. Splash plays, I think, are key.
And I think that's definitely the identity of Greg Perry's offense. You know, he had coached Bruce Gradkowski, Bill Stahl, Matt Rogers, Anthony Doria, all quarterbacks who could make those plays. Let's see if it translates to Mount Lebanon's offense.
And the other one is avoid getting behind the sticks. When you have a dominant defensive front like the Panthers do with Albert and Stoll, Gillespie, Geyer, people like that, you don't want to get in your 2nd and 12, your 3rd and 15 situations, especially when you have, the ball's out quick in the offense.
Well, that's going to be big too. We know Coach Perry wants to run the quarterback. If they're going to run those zone reads, reading that C-gap defender, that zone read mesh is going to be huge. You don't want to see the ball on the deck, and that quarterback has to read that defensive end's numbers well.
Yeah, plus it's week 0, and as you know, there's usually a lot of mistakes in week 0. Nobody's gone live yet. A scrimmage really isn't the same thing, and you do expect to see mistakes.
Absolutely. We'll see some false starts. We'll see some holding. We'll see some incorrect route combinations, but at the end of the day, you got to take care of the ball. When you get inside the red territory, you got to come away with points. No turnovers, sacks. You can't put the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so those are the keys to the football game. Alex, does showing up like this, we don't need to do the math, but what type of memories, what feel do you get when you come back to this stadium for a football game?
Well, I think I could still play. My wife certainly would say differently, in addition to my parents and close friends. But, this is a great field. They've done so much work on this stadium, the scoreboard, the place that we're currently standing in the booth. And, it's a beautiful night, great night to throw the ball. So we'll see what happens, Gav.
Yeah, I mean, it's when Mount Lebanon's here, if I have to think most people who are watching this broadcast understands the magnitude of the rivalry. But look, I've been coaching for 23 years, and I always tell my guys before the season that we have some ambitious goals, but your first 2 goals are win Mount Lebanon home, win Mount Lebanon away, and I'm sure, on the football field it's the exact same thing.
Absolutely, and it really didn't matter at the end of the season what either team's record was. It was always going to come down to a 1-score game. Usually had playoff seeding implications. I know that Mount Lebanon has struggled a little bit in the past year since their state championship win, moving up to 6A, but I wouldn't doubt that this game is one possession. I feel like every time you and I do this game, it comes down to a one-possession game with 0 time on the clock like we saw a couple years ago. But I just think that the experience of St. Clair, they have it in the backfield, they have it in the offensive line, defensive line. That's just going to be too much for Mount Lebanon.
Yeah, it's a fantastic crowd. It's a beautiful night. It is on the warm side. The one thing that brings into play sometimes, particularly in week 0, is cramps. We will certainly be watching for that with the temperature the way it is. But you really couldn't have much of a better night for football from an audience or a player standpoint in terms of just, the climate is perfect tonight.
Well, one of the coolest things, too, was I pulled into the parking lot. I thought I got here early enough, and there were parents and students tailgating. They've really embraced this culture, embraced this team. It's just cool to see the community come together on a night like this. And the fact that you're playing Mount Lebanon week 0, it really doesn't get any better than that.
Well, the good news is we already have our first shout from Ozzie Park, watching from Bar Harbor, Maine. They're telling you to keep it PG tonight.
Well, shout out to Oz. He just accepted a new job today. So great job, Oz. You're going to be a great circus clown, and I'm sure everyone's proud of you.
Well, one of my favorites, one of my favorite kids that I coached, a beautiful, beautiful human being, Ozzie Park, Amherst football grad as well. So, Alex, as we sort of get our way to kickoff, do you think there's something in, let's say, the first couple minutes of the game, short of returning a kick for a touchdown or something like that, that the coaches are stressing right away?
Do your job. I think the adrenaline's going to be pumping. The seniors have been waiting for this moment their entire lives. And then you kind of begin the countdown as soon as the ball's kicked to where, all right, I have a guaranteed 9 games left. And while that may not be in the front of your mind, it's certainly in the back of your mind. I wouldn't be surprised to see a big play offensively on either side of the ball, Mount Lebanon or St. Clair, just because, people get antsy. I mean, you can look now, the players from Mount Lebanon trying to pump up their student section. They look like they have a lot of kids here tonight. So look for a deep shot by Greg Perry, Gavin. Mount Lebanon doesn't have a ton to lose right now. They don't have a ton of expectations going into the season. So why not go deep?
Yeah, and we really want to stress, okay, this is Mount Lebanon's in 6A, St. Clair's in 5A. It's week 0. There's no conference implications. But let me tell you something. There is not one kid on that field right now is thinking anything about that tonight.
No, and a lot of these coaches too, they've known each other for a long time. Everyone kind of is a recycled WPIAL coach in one way or another. So I'm just excited to see the first ball kicked.
Well, it looks like the pomp and circumstances happening. Welcome to the Jungle is playing, and here comes your Panthers.
Coach Mike Junko and your Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, the energy and electricity in a Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair game is just a little bit different. And anybody who's been a part of them as a player, a coach, a fan, or anything, they'll tell you that. It feels different. And, you really hit the nail on the head in terms of, doing your assignment, doing your job. You just don't want to try to do too much and be a hero early on. All right, so looks like we're going to have the toss here for the Blue Devils. Their captains are coming out. Patrick Smith, their quarterback, who's one of their guys to watch, who is he's only a junior, multi-sport guy. Noah Shirelli, 81, is the guy we really have to watch. Probably their best receiver, best offensive player, also their best corner. Jimmy Green, who's you'll see carrying the ball a lot, number 6. He's a senior. And then big 77, Lucas Pavino, who anchors their line on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see number 81, Noah Shirelli. The way Greg Perry's offense works, they want to create matchups. If they can move him in the slot and try to create some type of matchup with a linebacker or maybe even a safety, I would look for him to be moving around the field all night.
All right, and the Panther captains are big Nate Stoll, the Princeton commit, number 58. You'll see him on both sides of the ball. Brock Gillespie, 55, also likely to start on both sides of the ball. The linebacker Van Helman, who'll also play some in the tight end spot, and he had a nice connection with his brother last year. And then Julian Dallum, the do-everything receiver / quarterback, wildcat guy / cornerback / safety, is the type of guy who just does everything. He pops. You'll call his name a lot today.
It really feels like Van Helman's been in college for the better half of the decade, huh? I mean, he's like Van Wilder.
He's one of those dudes, and there are some of these guys on that roster who have been playing a lot since they were 9th and 10th graders. So I know for a fact that the Panthers have been pointing to this season. This was a senior class that they thought big things could happen with, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys. There's just a different level of desperation when you're a senior.
Absolutely. I mean, there are definitely some kids here who have committed to play ball at the next level, and I'm sure there will be more. But there's always the possibility that this is your last season. I think that's a great way to kick it off, a rivalry game that's been going on for years, and a beautiful night to do it.
All right, so the Panthers in their home blacks, going left to right on your screen, will be kicking off. This is Jacobo Echeverria, who's a junior. He has a very strong leg, lots of Division I interest already. And we already talked about Jimmy Green, one of their guys back to return. And he's a dangerous guy. And here they're going to put it in play. Echeverria kicks off. He's going to go short. Green's going to come up. He's going to field it off a hop. And he's looking to go upfield. And there he goes. He cuts through a hole and gets all the way to the 37. Oh, excuse me, that's Billy Robertson, the receiver. So pretty good return. Good field position for the Blue Devils.
Never a bad thing to start, on your 40-yard line. It just shrinks the field. And, honestly, it gives Greg Perry the opportunity to call his full playbook rather than playing from the shadow of his goalpost.
All right, so let's set up the defense because they're out here. Bryce Jones, number 1, the junior, starting at the one corner. Charlie Bywalski, the senior, number 8 at the other corner. Nico DeRazio, the junior, at number 4 at safety. Julian Dallum, 2, we talked about at the other safety. Linebackers, Carter Stein, Van Helman, Jake Caceres, number 41, the senior, and Johnny Banbury, the sophomore, number 6. On the line of scrimmage, Stoll, Gillespie, and Michael Albert, the other Princeton commit, number 87, to the near side of your screen. Here's Patrick Smith, the junior. He's going to throw right away. It's going to be a little screen pass out in the flare to Green. Gets about 3 or 4. That's sort of what this team likes to do, Alex, correct?
Yeah, and truthfully, that was a really well executed snag play. Number 3 had the flat route. Number 1 came in, and he kind of picked that outside linebacker. And then number 2 took the safety and corner out of the play with the flag route.
Yeah, this short stuff is what you're going to have to probably look for. They fake the handoff, and here comes Patrick Smith. And this is what you're going to have to watch for. We talked to Coach Donati before the game, and he said Smith is big, strong, athletic, and he's a big run threat.
And in pregame, Gavin, we talked about that quarterback-running back mesh in the zone read. The defensive end bent, and so when you cannot see his numbers, you pull that tight, you take it right off his tail.
So that's a first down for the Blue Devils, and they got 1st and 10 here at midfield. And it's Smith again here at the helm. he gives it to Green. But there's Big Nate Stoll. Not much there, only about a yard,
Number
and
6,
that's
Jimmy
more what
Green,
you
the
expect
ball
when you're
carrier.
a Panther fan, watching Nate Stoll strong on the
Brought down
corner.
by number
Yeah, and
58,
I know
Nate
Michael Albert
Stoll.
didn't make the play, but he maintained his gap,
Gain
and
of
so the
2,
zone read
second
couldn't
down,
take place
8.
for the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have a lot of experience here in the front 7. You have to think that's where they expect to be stout. But again, there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of trickery here. Panthers are going to have to be really disciplined. All right, so again, this is what we expected from Greg Perry. 4 wide, 1 sidecar left, 2nd and 8. Smith back to throw. He's going. Oh boy! So they did a good job bumping it off his
Smith's
route.
pass
Jake Caceres
intended for
almost
Shirelli.
intercepted it.
Yeah, that
Incomplete.
not a great read
Broken out
by
number
Patrick
41,
Smith
Jake
there.
Caceres.
It's a numbers game. You know, when you have 3 wide to the field, it was
It's
3 over 3. You want to go with your numbers. There was an outside linebacker in a corner on the slant
8.
route to the boundary. That's just too congested to make that throw.
That's kind of what Coach Donati told us. Shirelli's their guy, and maybe they figured they had a matchup, but it looked like he was bracketed pretty good. So 3rd and 8. This is better for the Panthers. Smith is back to throw. They're sending Carter Stein on the blitz. Smith's going upfield. It looks like there may have been a little holding, and there was. Right after
Flag on
Shirelli
the
broke out of
play.
his break, Charlie Bywalski got a little bit of holding on him, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, and they're both very physical. Bywalski's been here for quite a while. But seriously, whenever they get the press man coverage, and Greg Perry knows that whenever a corner's pressed, you just got to throw the fade.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. The Panthers did blitz at least 1 linebacker there, and they didn't get home, and he had the time to do it, and because of that, they were able to get it upfield. So with the penalty, they move to the Panthers 38 and get a fresh set of downs.
First
And I know we try to be as objective as possible, but there was definitely some hand fighting on both sides there. Not so sure I agree with the call.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they looked, it was one of those things that, there was a tuck. He fakes it again. Banbury's at home, Albert's at home, but look at Smith. He is a big, strong kid, and I can tell you from
Smith
experience,
keeps.
I coached against him in hoops this year. He was really tough to move.
Tackled by John
And
Banbury.
that shows the
And
athleticism
Michael
of Smith. You
Albert.
know, Michael Albert
Gain of
really
4,
wasn't out of
2nd and
position
6.
there. He did get a little bit tight to the center, trying to protect that zone read, but Smith made the play.
Yeah, he still got 4 yards out of it. So pretty good gain for the Blue Devils. They're moving pretty quickly here out of this spread sort of offense. A little out route. Got his man. Looks like that's going to be another first down, and that's
Smith's
Chris Friedel,
pass complete
the
to number
junior
1,
receiver.
Chris Friedel.
And the Blue Devils, well, it's going to be
First
close.
down,
I think
Mount
they're
Lebanon.
moving the sticks here. Yep, that's going to be another first down.
Yeah, and that was a nice Ohio concept down to the boundary. Ohio concept is when there's a fade on the outside and the slot receiver has an out route, and you read the leverage of the number 2 defender. The number 2 defender was playing off, so that was an easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, this is interesting because they're going right down the field right now on the Panthers, showing very little resistance. Here's the run. There's Jake Caceres, the senior multi-sport athlete on the corner. No gain there, and I can tell you from coaching him, very, very aggressive, athletic kid. It's good to see him on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you can have more depth on the defensive side, it's never going to be a problem.
Yeah, people told me they thought he was going to get a lot of time. He did not play football his freshman, sophomore year, came back to the sport last year, and you never have enough guys who are physical like that. You love those guys. All right, 2nd and 10. At the Panther 28, Stoll's on the rush. It's thrown. It is caught. That's a really nice play by Shirelli, and that's why they told us to watch him. He's excellent, and that was a good combat catch. It was good coverage from Bryce Jones, but just basically a 50-50 type ball that the Shirelli won.
And absolutely, that was a really nice play by Shirelli, but the fact of the matter is the flat route was wide open. That might have been a walk-in touchdown.
Wow. So 1st and 10 from the 14. Here comes Caceres. He's on the blitz. Can't quite get him. They push him almost out of bounds. It's my catch. I think that's they called him out of bounds. It looked like he got his left foot in. That's Nico D'Orazio. Oh, my, was that an athletic play. I don't know if we can see that again, but that was beautiful.
I know that we have replay, but they have to institute that in the Whitfield. Maybe that 2020 or that 2010 Whitfield championship game might be overturned.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 here. Okay, we do not have replay working right now, so we'll probably get that going. Here's Smith. He's going into the pile. Not a whole lot there. That's about a gain of 3, and that'll set up a 3rd and 7. That's a pretty big play here, Alex.
Absolutely. Hopefully Mount Lebanon can, from an objective standpoint, obviously I'm biased towards the Panthers, but they've stayed ahead of the sticks the entire drive, so hopefully they can punch it in or at least come away with 3.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Last time we had a 3rd and sort of longish situation, the Panthers did send a linebacker, didn't quite get there. Let's see what the tact will be right now. Smith is back. The Panthers do send a linebacker. Here he comes. Smith is scrambling. He's got nothing, and he's going to be brought down about at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be Carter Stein, John Banbury, and Michael Albert, and the Blue Devils are going to be forced to have a field goal attempt.
Yeah, anytime you see a quarterback drop back and turn his shoulders towards the defense, that usually means that there's been a significant amount of pressure applied. So great job by the Panthers defense, bending and not breaking.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think a field goal hurts you. It'll be interesting to see who the Blue Devil kicker is here. Their kickers are both very young. This looks like Brady Lowe, who is a sophomore. So Panthers did have a number of blocked kicks last year. And so that's be something to watch for here. They're going up the middle. Oh, boy. Nate Stoll almost got in there, but as is, the kick is up and true. The Blue Devils strike first and lead the Panthers 3-0.
That was a great drive from the start. You know, they started off with great field position on the -40. They really just drove the ball at will up the field. Some great reads by Patrick Smith, some great pulls on the zone read. Great drive by Coach Greg Perry and the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils to start the season.
Yeah, fortunately only 3 points, and so we're you're right. Bend but don't break doesn't seem to kill you. Although I will say they took a good bit of time off the clock, 7.5 minutes to go here. So you're right, good drive. So we got some hellos here. People checking in. My main man Harry Durenzi's watching. I know my friend Anne-Marie Korsen was trying to get him to come to the game, but. Yeah, maybe next time. Hard to get Harry not to watch his Buccos. Also, the legendary Coach Jerry Malarkey. Good to have you checking in, Coach. He also was a football coach, so let's not cut him short for all of his many diverse talents. And then, of course, my main man Lauren Anderson, one of my big fans, one of my good friends, class of 1997. He and his daughter Abiel, Miss A, they're watching, enjoying the new graphics and the new camera angles. All right, so the kickoff is coming here, and we have back to receive here for the Panthers the ever-dangerous Julian Dallum, along with Dante Corey, who you're likely to see also at the tailback position a good bit for the Panthers.
Yeah, as of late, St. Clair's been using a running back by committee, so love to see Corey get some carries tonight.
Well, here's Johnny Bands. He gets it up, and again, about the exact same starting place as the Blue Devils had at the 37. Pretty good return from Bands. Banbury's been nursing a hamstring, and he did not play in the scrimmage. He'd been out for a while. I talked to him before the game. He said he was good to go, and if you know John Banbury, the chance of him not playing is basically zero.
And John's played ever since he was a freshman, so he definitely understands the importance of this game, of this rivalry. He is certainly a veteran on this team.
Yeah, I mean, that family is ultra competitive. So here we go. Ethan Hellman, the junior quarterback. Corey beside him here, and also a junior. Here comes Corey, and right up the pipe. That's exactly what you love to see there. Let's set the offensive scene here. Bywalski, Dallum, down here to the near side of the receiver, Bryce Jones, receiver to the top side left, Van Hellman at the wingback / tight end. The offensive line, 4 returning starters. From right to left, we got Bobby Fleckenstein, senior, Brock Gillespie, senior, Mason Geyer, junior, Nate Stoll, a senior, and on the left side is the lone new starter, and that is Reese Perrine, the junior. So, 2nd and about 5 here for the Panthers. Hellman's back. He's throwing the slant. Had Jones airmailed it a little bit, but that was pretty close, man. That was open.
It really was, and Mount Lebanon's not really playing much of a middle-of-the-field safety, no center fielder, so if he had just put a little bit of air on that and allowed Bryce Jones to run under that might have been a big play.
Yeah, so 3rd and 5. I guess you probably didn't want to have, 3rd and semi-long your first series here, but, the Panthers really have looked good on the line of scrimmage here, so... Here comes Corey. Oh, it's a little, did you see that? It was a little inside handoff. Here comes Julian Dallum. He's turning on the gas. Can he beat Shirelli? He can. He's at the 15-yard line. Big gain for Julian Dallum, 43 yards.
It looked like an inside trap reverse. I don't even know what that was. It really looked like a great misdirection play drawn up by Coach Junko. What a big play and a huge play for the psyche of the Panthers, moving the chains on a big 4th down.
I don't know if that was something they have sort of contemplated using on like the first big 3rd down or something they saw from Lebo's scrimmage on film. We talked to Junk briefly about what they do defensively, 3-down type stuff. So he said it was difficult to see personnel because they didn't have their numbers on the scrimmage, but you could see concepts, and maybe that was something they saw on film.
And it's something that every team going forward is going to have to prepare for.
Absolutely. All right, so 1st down inside the red zone. Here comes Corey again. Going to bang it up the middle. Gets about 3 or so going off the left guard.
Not entirely surprised that St. Clair's really taken to the run game to start. You have 4 returning offensive linemen. In the history of Upper St. Clair, anytime you've had those returning offensive linemen, you look back to 2006 with the Whitfield State Championship team, 2011 when they're the Whitfield finalist team. Those are big teams, and they were really strong up front, so I'm not surprised they're going to the run game.
Yeah, now they got the extra tight end with Albert in and Carter Stein, the fullback. Now it's going to be a little bit of an end around to Nico DeRazio, the junior. He does a nice job spinning, gets about 2. So we're going to have maybe a 3rd and 6 here from the 11.
Spun down once again by Dominic Huff.
So this is interesting, Alex. They're playing a lot of different people here on the offensive side of the ball, which is a positive. You want to keep guys fresh, especially since how hot it is tonight.
And it really shows the confidence that Coach Junko has in their perimeter players. You have Mount Lebanon, and no disrespect to anybody else, but you've seen a few balls forced into Noah Shirelli, but a lot of different kids have touched the ball for St. Clair.
That's a QB draw. Hellman cuts it back. He's at the 5, the 4. He's in the end zone. Ethan Hellman, number 13, the junior, takes it in for a 13-yard score for the Panthers. And the first touchdown of the season belongs to USC.
Gutsy run by Hellman. That shows how experienced he is, understanding that, hey, I know I can find the paint. He certainly did.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan Hellman, the thing that you worry when he runs because he's had so many back issues, missed a lot of the offseason, but he is a tough, competitive kid, and you expect to see him when it comes down to it, being willing to take a pounding to make a play. Snap is true. Kick is up. Kick is through from Jacobo. Trying to see who the snapper was there.
It's a heck of a kick.
I don't know if that was Grady Elias, number 65. He may be the snapper. He's one of the backup linemen. He's a sophomore. Very, very tough kid. But that was a nice snap. Good hold. The exchange was good, and the Panthers lead 7-3 with 4:53 left in the first quarter. So, Alex, any preliminary thoughts here after one set of drives from both teams?
Well, your keys to the game were really correct. I think St. Clair definitely controlled the line of scrimmage on their drive right there. They really went to the run, ended up running it in for a touchdown. Mount Lebanon controlled the ball through the air, which is not necessarily unexpected given the history and the pedigree of Greg Perry's air raid offense. But let's see if Upper St. Clair makes any adjustments. Maybe they go to a hard corner cover 2 shell. Maybe we'll bring some nickel or dime defenses in just to adjust to those slot receivers and those out routes. Really just throwing them off their routes to start.
I feel like last year this happened a lot. The first couple drives it looked like we weren't ever going to stop anybody, and then the staff adjusted really well. Here comes Jacobo. He kicks that one a little deeper. That's a beauty. That's going to be a touchback there. That's why he's getting the type of looks from Division I schools that he's getting. He didn't even hit that perfectly, and it still was probably 4 yards deep in the end zone.
It's unreturnable. That hits on the 1 and rolls out of bounds to the end zone. No one's touching that.
Yeah, he's a huge weapon. I mean, Look, what do I know about football recruiting? But I do know he's got all the stars and the offers and things. So, a great kid, too. He was a hooper as a freshman and really athletic as well. Shout out to some of the great people here watching. My dear friend Carrie Coe watching. She's been such a legacy here in terms of her husband. Matt was a player here, and then her son Brandon. Very, very cool family. Here comes a little screen to the outside. Oh, that's really nice. That was Green again, but he was brought down. Banbury, great pursuit for only about a game of 1 or 2.
Definitely looks like an adjustment by Upper St. Clair. They had someone in that zone during the swing route, so maybe there were adjustments when the Panthers came to the sideline.
Good to see Mark Roy here paying attention and trying to give me grief. Roy apparently doesn't understand the concept of a long snapper, not necessarily as a center. But, okay, so here we go, 2nd and 8. Smith drive. Oh, boy, there's Big Nate Stoll. And that is the reason he was a preseason terrific 22 from the Trib. He just blew that up completely.
Huge play coming up for Upper St. Clair. We got 3rd down and long. They're in the shadow of the goalpost. It looks like they're on the 17, minus 18. What Mount Lebanon cannot do right now is try to get it all back in one swoop. I understand that you want to get the first down, keep the drive going, but sometimes a punt is the safe play.
Yeah, well, this is interesting. We talked about it as a key not to get behind the sticks. Here they are. Are they going to go downfield to Shirelli? They're going to throw a screen, and nobody's there. Tuceris had great coverage in the flat anyway, and that's a really, really strong second possession for the Panthers.
And Stoll was bearing down on Patrick Smith. It looked like Shirelli had run a kind of a sluggo route, so like a slant and go, and had broken open. So if the protection had held up, that might have been a big play.
I freely admit, analyzing line play may be beyond my comprehension of this sport, but I can tell you that I can see a defensive lineman who's dominating, and Nate Stoll does that.
It's not very difficult to analyze him. He's always around the ball.
So that's a nice punt. DeRazio's under it. Makes a good fair catch, but it will be good field position for the Panthers. Very impressive. Who was that? Was that number 9, Joe Malone? So pretty impressive. That's about almost a 40-yard net. So very nice for Mount Lebanon.
And big by DeRazio making the catch on the punt. A lot of the times when you have those punts with big hang time, they can get nerve-wracking. And the fact that he caught it, saved him maybe 15, 20 yards.
He's a fabulous athlete. He was one of the stars on a baseball team this year as a shortstop, and frankly, from his travel basketball days, I wish I had him. Just a great kid and a great athlete. All right, so Panthers in business here. Great field position as we have 3:39 left in the first quarter. Panthers lead 7-3. Here comes Dallum. Oh, he did a nice job cutting inside. So they have Julian Dallum here at the Wildcat position. So that was a really nice read because Reese Perrine had his guy sort of shielded to the outside. Nice cut.
Absolutely. Dallum looks like he's definitely been working hard in the offseason. I didn't even recognize him when I came onto the field today. He's really grown into a big kid.
He's a super motivated kid. He's a Whippeal Championship point guard from this past season and just one of those kids that really, really wants to work. Ooh, shout out to my sister Erin. She's at Joey Junebug Lang's house, all watching and listening to the game. I love hearing all of these Panthers together watching football. That is what Upper St. Clair is all about. All right, 2nd and 4 here for the Panthers. I like him keeping it on the ground here, Alex. Let's ground and pound. Fake to Dallum, another little inside handoff. This is Corey. He got a battle. I think he's got a first down.
And off to Dante.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to him. It looks like they're moving the sticks.
What do we call that play?
That's a USC.
That looked like another type of either power or counter. I don't know. I would probably have to reach out to like a Ian or Oz or Matt Kick to understand the offensive line scheme.
I feel like there's a lot more misdirection in terms of some of this internal stuff than I saw last year. This is it seems to be a couple different looks from Junk and the staff.
I think it really helps when you have experienced, talented kids on the perimeter that you can hand it off to anybody.
All right, here's Hellman. He got time. He's going to go down the field. Now he fakes it. He's going to tuck it and run. And that's a nice play. He didn't see it. That's a mature junior decision, not trying to go down the field when it's not there, and gets about 4.
Track down by number 7.
So we had the post route by Bryce Jones on that play, one-on-one, no safety. It's week 0. I think in week 7, he lets that fly.
Okay.
I think the more comfortable that he becomes with his receivers, with those guys, that ball goes in the air.
Yeah, Bryce Jones he's the wheels. He's the guy who's going to break it over the top. Bywalski's probably the guy who probably flashed the most in terms of down the field last year, but Jones is the one with the pure speed. All right, 2nd and 7 here. Beck Shields is in the game, the junior. He's in motion. Oh, that's a really nice play. That's Malone again, coming into the backfield, shooting the gap. Junko said he was worried about those 2 inside linebackers who were tough Whippeal kids. Malone is one of them, and that's a tackle for probably about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
So I know the play didn't work out, but I know Coach Render is in New York smiling right now under center. Ohio toss left. He probably loves it.
I'm told, I got a text from Eric Render today. I'm told that they are watching, so I hope that they are. All right, here comes Hellman. He's back to throw on 3rd and 10. He rolls left. He's got a lot of time. He throws now. So they took a little bit of it there, probably because you have a possible 4-down territory here at the Lebo 36, but they got about 7 or 8 there, did Bryce Jones. Yeah, it looks like this is their big lineup.
Wouldn't hate to see a little play action here, Gavin. I feel like that Mount Lebanon's going to be playing 9 in the box, maybe sneak Mike Albert out for a seam route, pick up an easy first down.
Well, it looked like they were going to go big, but now I think they have a little longer than they thought. They have about 2.5. Yeah. All right, here comes Corey. There was a guy in the backfield. Oh, he just busted right through. That's Dante Corey. Great block from Carter Stein, the fullback. He ran right through it, and that's what you want to see. A veteran line, a veteran team can control the line of scrimmage. Panthers go in from 34 yards, touchdown.
Keys to the game, Gavin. Control the line of scrimmage. That wasn't a 4th and inches. That was a 4th and a serious 3, maybe even 3.5. That was just pure power.
If there's been one play that I see that I'm really encouraged by, it's probably that one, because they knew we wanted to run, we knew we wanted to run, and we were able to run it right down their throat.
And I love how Corey didn't mess around. He hit the gap, kept his legs moving, and obviously made it to the end
Flag
zone.
before the snap.
All right, so it looks like our snapper, I apologize because I didn't check that last time, but it looks like it's Jamie Gardner, the junior. So
Looks like we're going to be able to see Jacobo's leg a little bit here.
yeah, and it is interesting to see. You know, we were so spoiled with Bennett Henderson the last couple of years because he just never missed. I mean, it was just never a bad kick. But in terms of pure leg strength, Jacobo's, he's as good as I've ever seen here. All right, so it's down at the 15 and very easy in terms of the distance. Looks like it's straight through, and the Panthers, with 1 minute to go in the first quarter, lead 14-3. Ooh, special shout here. Now this one, I'm torn on this one because I love this individual. My main man, Tyler Nolan, he's watching from San Clemente, California. The unfortunate part about Tyler is he is a Blue Devil. That being said, he's one of the best golfers you'll ever see, and he was the runner-up in Leukemia Lymphoma Society Man of the Year this year, which is probably most important.
Well, he can't really control where he goes to high school.
I totally agree. Totally agree. I would have loved to have had him on the Panther golf team, though, I will tell you that. Absolute stud on golf. So, that's a really good response from the Panthers in terms of the last set of drives. I think this is a big drive, Alex. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, Mount Lebanon had a great drive, but only got 3 the first time, and then they went backwards last drive. I think in terms of possessing the ball, trying to get momentum back, I feel like this is a big drive for them.
I think we're going to see whether or not Patrick Smith is necessarily ready to play against a team with this kind of experience. He was getting a little bit shaky. He started to see some ghosts. He started turning his shoulders towards the defense and taking off maybe a little earlier than he should. A lot of quarterbacks, especially those who aren't as experienced, begin to go to what they know. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started forcing the ball to Shrelly here a little bit.
And that is boomed from Jacobo, and that is going to be easy about 6 yards deep in the end zone. And, boy, if he can do that all season, that is a huge weapon because, as we know, the return game is such a big deal in high school football. All right, Alex. So what do you expect if you're on the Blue Devil staff here to see? Do you expect to see anything different? You talked about forcing it to Shirelli, but is there anything else you would do if you were Mount Lebanon here to sort of counter what you saw last drive from the Panthers?
I wouldn't press their receivers. It looked like that they had a lot of pick routes that maybe would be able to combat that. If I were them, I'd probably play 3-4 yards off the ball with the corners, make sure that I don't give up any leverage, and I'd put pressure on Smith.
All right, so the Panthers look like they have a few subs in on the defensive side of the ball. Here Smith is back to throw. Yeah, and there is Nate Stoll again. Wow. So, it's funny. I told Nate last week that somebody had one of those lists or whatever, the best players, the most disruptive defensive players, and he wasn't on it. And I said, I almost responded to this list because I said, you haven't watched film. And he's everywhere.
Well, he has, 2 sacks already tonight? I mean, I wouldn't be entirely shocked if he got more offers other than Princeton. I thought he was a bigger player than that. Not that there's anything wrong with the Ivy League.
No, our guys love to go to the Ivies and show off their brains. Uh-oh, there's a guy open. He's open. He's got it down the field. He beat him clean, unfortunately. That's big number 5, Billy Robertson. He beat Caffrey Duplessis on the corner, and that's going to be a big game. There is a flag down. I can't tell what it is. Looks like it may be a hold on the Panther corner.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen whenever you press those outside receivers, and I think Coach Donati told us a little bit about that. They want St. Clair to press. They have the personnel to beat it.
Yeah, I see Coach Thompson. Coach Thompson is the new secondary coach for the Panthers, and he was very displeased. I'm not sure what he said, but it's a tough thing for the Panthers. They had him in a really good position there, second and long, to get beat down the field up there is very frustrating.
Yeah, you can't really lunge. Whenever you have those press man coverages, you see now they're playing 4-5 off the ball. Probably better.
All right, here's Smith, and he's going to go that short one. There is Shirelli. Good covered tackle after the catch there from Charlie Bawalski, the senior, but it'll be a gain of 4.
Yeah, and hopefully as the game goes on, we make adjustments. We'll see the outside linebacker, Jake Caceres, expand underneath that route to kind of undercut it so that the corner can play over top.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter here. The Panthers lead 14-3 over the Blue Devils, but the Blue Devils have it and are driving in Panther territory.
Turn your attention down to the near side of the field, and please welcome our varsity dance team.
All right, so while we have a little bit here, let's give a little love to our sponsors here. Stalwart Insurance Agency, headquartered in Upper St. Clair, is committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful strategic planning, valuable professional services, and technology-based solutions that result in sustained customer and employee satisfaction. Through initiative and follow-through, they help their customers find answers, implement solutions, and anticipate consequences. Stalwart Insurance Agency, thank you so much for sponsoring the Panthers. And also Victorian Finance. Headquartered in Upper St. Clair, our experienced loan officers have the knowledge to understand that everyone's home buying situation is unique, but their dream is the same. You will receive your own comprehensive competitive financing solution to make the dream of home ownership a reality. We will walk you through the home buying mortgage journey simply and honestly to get you into your home sweet home. Victorian Finance, thank you so much. All right, we are back here. First play of the second quarter. They're running wide here. Good play by Michael Albert. Good pursuit wide. That was number 26, Sam McCauley, the junior back, and he got about 3, so we got about 3rd and 3 here, Alex.
Yeah, you could definitely see that Mount Lebanon has caught on to the defensive scheme of Upper St. Clair a little bit. They went 2-by-2, really wide splits, and it was 5 in the box for Upper St. Clair. They were 5-on-5, a good pickup for Mount Lebanon.
All right, so 3rd and short, probably in 4-down territory, particularly given the way the game has transpired. Be interested to see what the Blue Devils come up with here. Smith, straight handoff right up the middle. Plenty of room there, and he's going to get the first down. Good job from Nico DeRazio to come up and make the stick, but not before they crossed the line to gain. First down for the Blue Devils.
So right now, just inside the 30, this is where you take a shot, Gavin. You really have 4 downs. It's a little bit far for a high school kicker, so I wouldn't be surprised for them to take a vertical shot now.
Yeah, let's work. They've gained 2 pass interference calls, and they've gone down the field, so I would not be surprised if they keep going back to it.
And keep an eye on 81 at the bottom. He's matched up one-on-one.
Yeah, got Charlie. It's going to fake. Here comes Smith. Tries to cut it back. Michael Albert not fooled. The 2 Princeton kids are really flashing right now, Alex.
Yeah, Princeton's really recruited this area well. I know they've taken some kids from St. Clair in the past. Grant Surtees, one that comes to mind.
Aiden Besselman's there right now.
Aiden Besselman, and they definitely have recruited Mount Lebanon too.
Yeah, it's I speak highly of those 2 kids from a character standpoint, but they're also playing some darn good football here. Here's Smith, good patience, getting up the middle. That's number 50, Austin Middleton. The backup nose does a really nice job being stout at the point of attack. Gets him down, going to be about 3rd and 5.
So if you're Mount Lebanon right now, you're down 11. You have 10 minutes left in the second quarter. You don't need 5. Get 3.5, get 4, and then get the first down. You don't need to get everything right now.
Yeah, totally agree. We've talked about them. When they haven't gotten behind the sticks, they've been very good, and they're sort of on schedule here. Here comes that quick slant. And it's not going to be a first down, Alex, but exactly as you said, they got 3, maybe 4. It was pretty good coverage from Jones, and now it's a very manageable 4th and 1 with a very big quarterback.
And that's definitely a premeditated call. It's let's get what we can get, let's get a positive play and move on.
I'll tell you what, I don't think, Smith's reputation was more of an athlete than a thrower. I think he's thrown the ball very well so far.
Definitely, and he's definitely thrown the ball well on those in-breaking routes.
I'll tell you what, I don't think he got this.
I don't think so either.
I mean, there was almost nothing. Trying to see who that was at the point of attack. It was Van Helman and Jake Caceres, it looks like, 41 and 23, but Van Helman really blew it up. And Brock Gillespie and Nate Stoll, Austin Middleton, they have some really stout seniors at the point of attack, and that is not going to be easy this year to run on them internally.
No, definitely not, and that's so deflating for Mount Lebanon. You put together a nice drive, big play on it. You just really can't push the ball over that 4th and 1. Tough for an offense.
They've had 2 really good drives, and the fact that they've only gotten 3 points out of it has to be a little demoralizing, is it not?
Yes, and if St. Clair can put together a good drive, take some clock, they get the ball at halftime. So you have to also think that's a 2-possession type of situation, and if St. Clair continues to run the ball like they're capable of, this could be a long drive.
All right, Drew Sanderson, the junior, the Canadian, in a tight end here. Here comes Hellman.
There he goes.
Oh, the hitch and go. He's wide open. It's Bywalski. Oh, he overthrew him. Oh, no. Boy, if he'd have known he was going to be that open, I think he'd have put a little more air under it.
There's a saying out there, and I used to get told this way too often in college. No one in the history of football has ever caught an overthrow. So whenever you have a guy like that, obviously you tense up a little bit. You want to make this perfect, pretty ball, but just put it on him, let him run.
So, shout out, we've got a couple new wide receivers in the game. We've got Anthony Razzo in number 11, the sophomore. And number 18, Randy Ann, the junior. So a lot of different faces in there for the Panthers, as you would expect in week 0. Good, hard run. Gets probably about 4 there. That's going to be a good game from Corey. So Panthers have run the ball very well, but boy, you hate to see an opportunity that's basically a gimme touchdown go by the wayside.
It's tough, and unfortunately it's a negative play too. It turns into 2nd and 10, and now you only have 2 downs.
Yep, 3rd and 6 for the Panthers here. Got him on the hard count. Yep.
It looks like they're bringing some pressure, inside linebacker, maybe the safety, but that might be that there'll be a place. It looks like Coach Junko is calling an audible right now. You always want to replace the player. So if they're coming from the left side, you want to throw the slant into the blitz, away from the rotation.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to do the same thing now here. Are the Blue Devils not just rushing 3 here? Hellman's got some time. He steps up. He throws. He got a man. Oh, and he overthrew Jules. Just looks like a little bit of nerves here from Ethan. He's missing some throws tonight that he makes almost routinely in his sleep.
It looks like he just wants to make the perfect play as opposed to making the play. He's plenty talented. We've seen him make game-winning touchdowns. We've seen him lead sustained drives. He's an athletic kid, but he just got to take what the defense gives him. He had that play, but he'll make that the next time.
Absolutely he will. So Panthers just really sort of shot themselves in the foot a little bit on that drive, and we're going to have a punt, and it's Jacobo once again, who is also the punter. And I'm sure you are not surprised, has an excellent leg on the punt. Looks like a fair catch from Shirelli. I'm not 100% sure why, but he takes it at his own 34, so that's going to be a 42-yard net, so really nice job from Jacobo.
Now, if you're Mount Lebanon and you're the defensive coordinator, yes, on paper, that was a win, but that was a gift. You know that should have been an 80-yard touchdown. You and I are high-fiving, maybe opening up a Diet Coke. It'd be great, but truthfully, that was a huge win for Mount Lebanon just because now they have 8 minutes left on the clock. It looks like they still have all 3 timeouts left. And if they can make this a 1-score game, not a huge deal for them.
All right, so Panthers have, it looks like the same defensive lineup as they had last possession with Middleton in for Gillespie. It's good to, Brock plays so much. It's good to see him getting a little bit of a blow. Smith back to throw, got all day. They got a wheel route here. Caceres picked it up. He's rolling now to his right. He's got Albert chasing him. He gets to the outside, and boy, and that's probably going to be 15. Yeah, Van Helman, unfortunately, way out of bounds. So not only did they not contain him on the outside there when they had numbers, but then they gave him 15. So not a very good play for the Panther D.
No, that's tough. And that's one of those things, too. Week 0, emotions are high. Upper St. Clair had a couple great stops on defense. They want to hit the quarterback. They know that he's going to continue to run the ball. They want to pound him. You just can't do it when he's in the white.
No, and it's, again, that's one of their smartest kids. He's a senior, and I'm sure it's just, he's so fired up to get to the ball. But again, they should have contained that play, and it was a double mistake there for the Panthers. So 1st and 10, 41 of the Panthers. Here comes Smith again. He fakes. He's going to run the other way there, and Hellman says, okay, I know I made the mistake, but here I go, and he makes up for it, tackles him for only about a gain of a yard and a half.
You can definitely tell this is a rivalry game. Bywalski and Grayson Beck from Mount Lebanon have really been jawing at each other, even in pre-snap. I love it.
Yeah, you knew this game was going to get chippy. There's never been a Lebo St. Clair game that doesn't. These kids all know each other, and it's just the way it goes when these two teams play. Smith back to throw. He's got the short pass here, and he's got a man wide open in the flat. He's going to get a first down there, and that is Chris Friedel again.
And that shows how much respect is paid to Noah Shirelli, because number 41, Jake Caceres, he has that flat responsibility, but he sees 81 on the in-breaking route. He tries to drift underneath it. That flat's wide open.
Yeah, Smith, I'm very impressed so far. He's making good decisions, no mistakes, and making the easy throws that we're giving him. Here comes Smith. Had nothing there. So big 73. So Bobby Fleckenstein, the senior offensive tackle, they're putting in on the defensive side of the ball. He usually comes into pass rush, but Flex in, again, Coach Junk promised me this year they'd sub more on the line of scrimmage, and that's what you're seeing, but he did a nice job there.
Would have loved to see a little misdirection, play action, something there other than what everyone in the stadium expected. Everyone knew that was going to be quarterback power. Great job by St. Clair stopping.
So this is 4th and 1. I thought they got a first down on the second down play, so this is 4th and 1. Can they stop him again here, the Panthers? Going to go right up the gut here, and Lebo's going to get it fairly comfortably there. Not a bad job from the Panthers, but they get to about the 30, and that's going to be a first down.
One thing to keep an eye on, Gavin, anytime Mount Lebanon runs the zone read, away from the play, there's a bubble screen. So if that defender starts to cheat in a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised to see Smith and throw it out to the flat.
Okay, so at least the Panthers are making it challenging, taking 4 downs to get first down. But the Blue Devils are driving again. Here's the out route, and that's the first one we've seen that he didn't maybe make quite a good throw. But again, Bobby Fleckenstein in the backfield, so maybe a good decision making, getting some fresh legs there on the line.
And it looked like Fleckenstein got enough penetration where Smith couldn't really rotate. It looked like he was kind of at his feet, so that probably caused that errant throw.
All right, 2nd and 10. This is going to be that widescreen again, and he's got a lot of space. Bryce Jones comes up, and Banbury finishes him. But again, good 5-yard gain from the Panthers, or for the Blue Devils, and just seems like their offense right now is sort of doing what they want.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a great play by Bryce Jones. Number 5, Billy Robertson, ran a post route, so he definitely had to flip his hips and come upfield. So great play in the open field. But yeah, you're right. The spacing of the Mount Lebanon offense is doing well right now.
All right, so 3rd and 4 here. Probably 4-down territory again, as we talked about. Smith's got time. Now he's running out of time. It looked like Fleckenstein got held. Here comes Carter Stein. And Carter Stein makes a nice tackle, but that's going to come back. Bobby Fleckenstein, 73, the big senior tackle, got held as he forced Smith to roll right, and that's going to be a holding call, and that's going to back him up a ways, I believe.
Fleckenstein looks good. He's been fresh ever since he's come in. He's had a couple quarterback hurries.
Yeah, he's great kid, great family. So full disclosure, his mom, Leslie, was a Panther grad, class of 94. She's my wife's assistant at the practice, and very good friends of ours, and her older brother Joey was a great hooper at St. Clair. So great family, comes by it naturally, and I'm glad to see Bobby shining on the defensive side of the ball. He's always good on offense. So now instead of 3rd and 4, we've got 3rd and 14, and that's exactly what we talked about, behind the sticks.
And they just need to get 7. Cut it in half. Don't get cute. Look at the bottom of the screen. He's playing way off on 81.
All right, they throw deep here. Charlie's got to turn. I'll tell you what, he didn't need to. He had really good coverage, and frankly, I'm not sure the ball was in bounds.
Well, the way that ball was thrown allowed the receiver to come back through the defender. And unless the defender really turns around and makes a play on the ball, that's going to be PI all the time. Anytime you have a defender on your hip like that, coaches these days are saying, throw it at him. Maybe we don't get the catch, but most likely we're going to get some kind of PI, or maybe we get a back shoulder throw.
Well, that's the 3rd defensive backfield infraction on the Panthers tonight. So if you're looking for something to work on, and I'm a little surprised the Blue Devils aren't going downfield more. It's worked every single time. It's either been a catch or a flag. So maybe they're worried about turnovers, but the Panthers have shown some susceptibility to it. All right, so 1st and 19 for the Blue Devils. 5.5 to go here in the first half.
Some miscommunication by the Blue Devils here.
Well, they still got plenty of time on the clock here. Smith's back. He's looking near side. He's got Shirelli again. That's going to be about a 8-yard gain or so, even 9.
That's the exact play that Coach Donati was telling us about in pregame. We saw the number 2 on the right side go vertical. You want that outside linebacker to turn his hips. 81 Shirelli comes right underneath for almost a first down.
I have to say, Alex, I think the St. Clair offense has looked really good, but the defense, my guess is they're going to have to do some adjusting at halftime. Lebo's moved the ball consistently. Here comes the run. Oh, Caceres really stout at the point of attack, and that's not going to be a first down, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. The one thing the Panther defense has done well is short yardage.
Well, you have to think the strength of this Panthers defense is probably the down 3. Those kids have all played a ton. They've made plays all game. They've gotten penetration. They've done great in the interior run game. I would like to see Mount Lebanon throw the ball here. You have a great kid at the bottom of the screen, matched up 1-on-1, number 81. Let's give him a chance. Throw the fade ball. Everyone knows that it's going to be quarterback power, but let's do something different.
Yeah, I agree. And if I'm the Panthers, I get DeRazio helping out over top there. Now they're going. It's McCauley up the middle. He's going to get the first down, but not by a whole heck of a lot. He just didn't need much, but he's going to get all the way to the Panther 8, and that's going to be a first down for the Blue Devils. So I'll tell you what, time of possession, I'm guessing, is really one-sided right now in favor of the Blue Devils.
Yeah, this is their second sustained drive that has, potential to come away with points. Obviously, they had the 1 4th down turnover on downs.
Yeah, so this is why you want to play a team like this in week 1. To give you a lot of different looks that you're going to see a lot this season. But here we go. 1st and goal from the 8.
Oh, he's coming across. Watch 81.
Albert's chasing. He's going to run. Banbury turns up, and he's going to get in. That's Patrick Smith. Turns it up. Neither Panther was able to get him down, and that is a touchdown for the Blue Devils.
That's a tough one, Gavin, just because that drive again, it felt like it was aided by some unforced errors by Upper St. Clair. Obviously, when you're playing that press man coverage, you get handsy. The Mount Lebanon receivers haven't exactly been clean themselves. But now we have a ball game, and there's 3:44. St. Clair has 3 timeouts. Again, they're getting the ball at the half, so you really want to manage this 4-minute drill.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers, this is a defense that returns almost the defense in its entirety. And so, that looked like he missed. He did. He hooked it left. And so, not a huge deal, but you never know. I mean, every point matters in a football game. So 14-9 instead of 14-10 here, Alex.
Well, especially when you and I are here, we've seen that come down to a point or two how many times.
No, in this game, we've talked about it. I mean, this game has come down to a field goal very, very frequently. So, yeah, as I was saying, though, I just think if you're the Panthers right now, you thought the strength of your football team was going to be this defense, particularly the front 7, pretty much all back other than Marco Carone and Cam Phillips. And, they've struggled tonight, no question about it.
It's a lot of reps. You can't really take a lot of plays off whenever you're throwing the ball as much as Mount Lebanon is. They're forcing Mount Lebanon's forcing Upper St. Clair's perimeter defenders to make tough open field tackles, throwing the ball to the swing routes. And then obviously you kind of get lulled to sleep whenever Patrick Smith's running quarterback power. So tough night for the St. Clair DBs, but I bet we'll make the adjustments and we'll do what we got to do.
All right, so the offense now has a big opportunity, and Alex already alluded to this once. 3:44 left, but the Panthers are in the lead and do get the football to start the third quarter. So, a field goal would be fine. That makes it 8. But a touchdown and then getting the ball back to start the third quarter would be a big momentum shift here.
It would be huge, but you can't try to get it all at once. I think it's going to be really important for them to get a few chunk plays, 4, 5, 6 yards, get the momentum, then maybe work off play action, see if you can get something downfield.
All right, so the Panthers now have their full complement of players out there here. We've got Bywalski and Dallin back returning. It looks like they're going short. This is Razzo. The sophomore is going to take it. He's looking upfield. Breaks one tackle, gets the outside. Very tough to bring down. Gets it out to the 30-yard line. More good field position, and that is the sophomore, Anthony Razzo. And his proud folks are up to our left over there. Dr. Razzo admitted to me he was nervous before this football game, but we're getting lots of smiles over there, and that is what I love to see as the voice of the Panthers. It is a family affair here, and Anthony did a really nice job making himself tough to tackle there. All right, so Alex, if you're the Panthers, you talked about just sort of getting in chunks. We don't need a big play, but obviously we saw wide open guys in the passing game. Anything you would consider doing here, knowing what we've seen so far?
I think with Mount Lebanon not playing a deep middle defender, you have to take advantage of that. Maybe some kind of four-vert concept where you can work that horizontal stretch on the corner, force him to make a decision.
Yep, here we go. There's the fake. It's Dallin. He's in the Wildcat again. He sneaks through, gets about 4 or so. No, maybe 5. Good job from Jules.
Good start. Good start to the drive. Get 5, get half, convert. Let's get some momentum.
Well, I mean, certainly as a coach, I don't know. I'm a glass half empty sort of guy, but you're thinking our D's been on the field a lot. We cannot give them the ball back right away.
Yeah, there was a few quick drives for Upper St. Clair, so I think it's important to continue to use your biggest asset on offense, which is the offensive line.
So it's Dallin again. Dallin's in the Wildcat here. Here he goes. He sneaks through. He's going to get a first down. Nice hard run from Julian, and he gets about 6 or 7. Let's also keep in mind, it's very easy to say, Dallam's the Wildcat quarterback. Julian Dallam's been a quarterback his whole life. He can throw like a quarterback. So, there's a lot to set up out of that.
That's a great point, and I think it's going to be something that comes into effect later in the year or maybe in the red zone. When you're expecting some kind of quarterback sweep, quarterback counter, and just pop one in for a touchdown.
All right, but Ethan Hellman is back in the football game, as you would expect him to be. Just because he missed a couple throws early does not mean Ethan Hellman is not a stud. Man can really spin it. All right, 1st and 10. Panthers at the 41-yard line, their own 41. Here comes Corey, and he gets about 4. The one thing I'll tell you, Alex, is we haven't seen much of John Banbury at the tailback position, and I'm wondering if his hamstring, they need him on defense, and so they're sort of limiting his reps.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely something that gets put into account. In addition, you have depth in the offensive backfield. Why not utilize it?
Dante Corey's a terrific back, very competitive kid. So gets 4. Here's 2nd and 6 for the Panthers on the 45, just inside of 2 minutes to go in the first half. They fake. There's Hellman to Hellman. finds his brother for a gain of about 5, so it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1. And the Panthers don't need to really hurry necessarily, but the clock is rolling, 1:45 to go, and you have to start thinking about going a little more quickly.
If they get a first down, I think we'll definitely see some kind of hurry-up turbo offense where the plays are being premeditated as you go forward.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 1. You're right. You got to get a first down here first and then think about it. So here's Corey. He's through very easily. Nice spin move. Good hard run. Dante Corey gets about 8 or 9 to the inside Blue Devil territory to the 43.
So clock's running. It looks like there's about 1 minute, 15 seconds left. I would love to see Upper St. Clair take a shot. Anytime they've gone 3-by-1 or even a tight end 2-by-2, Mount Lebanon has shifted their entire defensive backfield towards the numbers. You'll see here at the bottom of the screen, Bryce Jones is naked. He's going to be wide open if they run a post route.
Yeah, well, the Lebo coaches look like they saw something. The Panthers sub Beck Shields, who's been in as sort of the tight end wing back, brought in DeRazio in as a slot receiver who's got a little more pace. And it seemed like the Blue Devils were concerned about some. That's the first time out call of the game. Panthers have all 3 left, so that's a positive sign as you sort of go forward trying to get points here.
And if Hellman has to continue to talk to Coach Junko, to Coach Morton, to the offensive coaching staff to let them know how comfortable he is with the play calls. He has been probably a little bit skittish. Obviously, there's that week 0 nerves, but get him outside the pocket, allow him to run out of bounds, stop the clock, and give him some options downfield.
All right, so some interesting scores. Bethel Park playing the 5A Blackhawks, who are probably one of the favorites in 5A, along with St. Clair and Peters, leads 6A Seneca Valley 22-0 in the first quarter. Wow, that's a very impressive score.
Not surprised. I think Coach Phil Pekich is their head coach now. He was a Montour grad, really good defensive back.
And South Fayette up 7-0 on the Chartiers Valley squad. So, all right, so here we go. 1st and 10. Panthers on the Blue Devil 43. This is big. Got to get some points here. Fake handoff. Hellman's rolling left. He's looking down the field. He's going to throw it. Not really anybody open there, and he just sort of threw it where only our guy could catch it.
Yeah, he's still got to trust the play call. He can't really stop your momentum when you're running like a flood concept rolling out. One, if you stop, you lose your momentum. You can't make that extra 5-10 yards on the throw. And 2, if you stop, there's no protection behind you, and you might take one right in the middle of the back.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Panthers live to fight another day here. You still have 55 seconds, still have 3 timeouts left in Blue Devil territory. Kicker has a great leg. All right, so Hellman's back again. He drops the snap, picks it up, got some time. He's throwing downfield. He's got Bryce Jones. That's going to be a Panther touchdown. And we talked about Bryce Jones. Alex Park basically said he had single coverage, and that would be open on the post. That's exactly what you just saw.
Yeah, that was a unbelievable throw by Ethan Hellman. He gave him a chance. He allowed him to run under it. He didn't try to put it there. He just threw the ball to a spot, and it was a perfect ball.
I mean, Alex, you got to take some credit for that. That's Nostradamus type stuff. That's what you talked about last stoppage.
Well, number 5 for Mount Lebanon, Billy Robertson, had been playing outside leverage, and anytime you do that, any in-breaking route, especially when you turn your hips, is going to be difficult to cover, and Bryce Jones just burned him.
Well, that's the reason why you keep Ethan Hellman in there is because of that. The dude can absolutely spin it. That was just a gorgeous throw. Jacobo missed that one a little bit, but still threw. So the Panthers, with 48 seconds to go in the first half, that's a big, big touchdown because it's now 21-9, and they get the ball in the to start the second half. So that's great stuff.
So Mount Lebanon still has a chance. There's 48 seconds left, 2 timeouts. If they get a good return here, I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a couple shots. Not Hail Mary stuff, but those intermediate chunk plays, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a screen either, especially if St. Clair's playing somewhat of a prevent defense.
I would go down the field again. It's worked every single time to at least get a flag. I mean, they take a chance. But who knows? I mean, if you get one picked off, then you look like an idiot. And I seem to think this game's like a video game sometimes.
Well, I think they're very aware of the front 3. And anytime they've really tried to drop back and Smith has tried to set his feet, he's been met with either a Michael Albert. He's been met by a Bobby Fleckenstein, a Nate Stoll. You start to feel that as a quarterback. You start to kind of get what they say happy feet, and it's uncomfortable, and you make some errant throws.
Well, I got to give a shout here. Two of my guys are watching right now from Clemson. They just started their freshman year. My captain, Brett Miner, 2024 4 Whippeal champion, and Cam Phillips, starting middle linebacker on his team last year. Boys, I hope you're loving college. Thanks for tuning in. Here comes Jacobo. He's booming that one. Look at that kick. That is out of the end zone. Not only was it out of the end zone, it was actually over the red.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I have never seen that.
And St. Clair has a history of great kickers. You know, they had Bennett last year. They had, I'm trying to think.
They've had a lot of good ones. Alex Romanus was really good. Connor Lee, obviously.
Evan Magliocca, if you remember him. Yeah, there were some great kickers.
I have to give a shout out to Billy Price, my colleague at Clark Hill. He was the kicker on 2 Whippeal championship teams. So.
Kicker you.
Yeah, his son's playing for South Fayette tonight, so my guess is he is not watching, but he's a proud Panther. All right, so first and 10 here on the 20. They're going to throw the little screen there. That's Shirelli again. No, that was low. So here's something interesting, Alex. Okay, now we have second and 10. Another incompletion, or if they run, do you think about using, with 3 timeouts left, timeouts here, or are you satisfied knowing we get the ball in the second half?
I think if St. Clair feels good about their special teams, you go for the punt block. And why not? If there's going to be 10 seconds left, there's not really a chance of a big play. Why not try to go for the big play?
Okay, I'm super aggressive, but sometimes when I ask those questions, because people look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, it's picked off. That's a great play by Caffrey Duplessis, the junior. He read that out route and pulled it away from the receiver. He got beat earlier on the long route. That is a great way for a young player to recover and make up for a mistake.
And this is almost a guaranteed 3. You know, when you have Jacobo kicking the ball the way he has been, you have 40 seconds, 3 full timeouts left, Gavin. You can basically run your entire offense here.
Oh, it's unbelievable. We have 3 timeouts, and we already talked about how, it would be crazy, to score and have time to get up, and now you have time to score again and get the ball in the second half. Ooh, another score. Cannon Mack is up 17-0 on Peters. Upset alert. I heard Cannon Mack was going to be good this year, but that's a heck of a score. I love it. Week 1 is crazy.
Week 0.
Or week 0, excuse me. Good point. Here comes Hellman. Throws it wide. Here's Dallum. He's got a lot of space. He's heading towards the boundary. I think they'll probably use a timeout. Yep, Junk's going to use a timeout. 34 seconds left, but that's a good gain. They got about 5 or 6, and they got it to their playmaker, hoping he could break one.
Looks like Drew Sanderson's limping off the field a little bit.
He's been banged up a lot in the preseason. Really athletic kid. He's a junior, used to be a hooper, and so they're trying to keep him healthy. Oh, yes. My main man, Luca Baird, giving me a shout-out. I don't know if Luca's at West Liberty yet or he's still here, but he's a baseball guy. He's going to go to West Lib to pitch. But, Luca, if you're already gone, man, I miss you. Have a great freshman season.
Good luck, Luca.
All right. So, Alex, now we got 2nd and 6, Mount Lebanon 20, 34 seconds left. Play OC for me. Wear your OC hat. What do you want to see here?
I really liked that last play call. It was basically an extension of the run. You're getting the ball in Julian Dallum's hands, one of your best playmakers, and you get an easy 4 or 5 yards. You call a timeout. Why not do that again? And then you can start taking shots. Unless Coach Junko has something dialed up, maybe like a quick double move, like a slant and go or an out and go. Right now, I'd be working the sidelines trying to get out of bounds and just getting the ball in the best player's hands.
The one guy we haven't seen is Charlie Bywalski. Lebo has their best corner on him, but Charlie's a really great football player. Fake into the boundary. Wasn't quite there. Hellman's still looking. He's going to extend it. That's a smart play. Good job not trying to force it. Live for another play.
I just feel like Hellman's getting a little bit frustrated maybe with the lack of open receivers, and it's maybe not anybody's fault. It's just good defense by Mount Lebanon, but again, he's quickly turning his shoulders to the defense. Is never a good sign.
All right, so we've got 3rd and 6. At the Blue Devil 19, 28 seconds left. Hellman. Oh, it's going to be the QB keeper, the same play they got a touchdown on earlier. Here he's going. Oh, what a cut. He lost the football. Oh, no. Did the Panthers get it back? Hopefully the Panthers got it back. If so, call timeout. They did. Wow. Who got down there? I think it was Nate Stoll, of course. And, boy, he almost scored there. Did you see it? Oh, here, we got the replay here.
It looks like that last cut, he kind of left the ball out, and a Mount Lebanon player was able to swipe at it.
Yeah, unbelievable. Because I'm sure he just saw end zone, and he's so athletic and competitive, but you got to be careful there. So, good break for the Panthers. Oh, no, our production team's apologizing for the buffering replay, but we're working on some stuff here. I got to tell you guys, we have an unbelievable new production company, JRM Video Production. They're amazing, and there are going to be some glitches. I am not used to a lot of this technology that we have, so any apologies are likely to have to come from me because I don't quite understand what I'm doing yet. But this is really, really cool, and we're blessed to have them.
Well, I think because of how high tech it is now, we might have to up our dress code.
Oh, I look terrible today. I'm glad. I thought they were going to do some on-camera stuff, and I was actually embarrassed for what I'm wearing. I got like casual shorts on and everything. Next week I'll look better, I promise. All right, so 19 seconds left. First and goal from the 2. Panthers have timeouts to use here. It's Corey. Oh, that's a nice little cut. He backs, and he is in. Dante Corey still on his feet. Big play for the Panthers. They get in the end zone again, and what a momentum shift here in this last 3 or 4 minutes, Alex.
Boy, Corey's really run the ball well. He's kept his legs moving. That play, there really wasn't a ton there for him, but he just trusted his offensive line, the experienced offensive line, and found the paint.
Oh, man, I got some great shouts here. My man Peter Engel, a receiver on last year's team,
yep,
and one of our actual geniuses, Sam Levine, both watching from Penn State. Love you guys. I hope you are having a blast on your freshman year, and I miss you both. Here comes Jacobo. Bang.
Jeez.
Just got all of that one. I almost hit the school. And with 14 seconds to go in the first half, 28-9. Whatever problems the Panthers have had on defense were made up by, we talked about one of the keys being splash plays on the defense in terms of turnovers, and that turnover was massive.
Yeah, and I just hope that St. Clair goes into the locker room at halftime and emphasizes the idea that they have to continue to remain disciplined in the defensive backfield. Whenever you start to jump those out-breaking routes, you get a little greedy. Hey, he got one. Why can't I get one? That's when the big plays happen.
No, absolutely. So the Panthers, it's ordinarily in this situation you just kind of do a squib kick and not worry about it. I don't know why you just not keep having Jacobo bang it through the end zone and say the heck with it, because it looks like he can do it. He mishit one that went 4 yards deep in the end zone.
Right, and if you're Mount Lebanon, you're probably just thinking, let's get out of here. Let's take a knee. We don't need another turnover inside our own 10.
No, and the bottom line here, Alex, is if the Panthers get the ball to start the third quarter, go right down the field and score, you're almost in mercy rule territory, and it's not been that type of game.
No, and we've seen St. Clair go into halftime with big leads and then come out a little bit flat. My hope is that because of the rivalry and week 0 and everything like that they come out still hot.
All right, Jacobo does. Oh, my God. They didn't even move.
That's consistent, man. Some school's going to be lucky to have that kid.
May I have your attention, please? There was a lost pink Kate Spade New York wallet.
I assume Mount Lebanon will just take a knee.
To Stephen Wayne.
You would have to think there's not too much that can go well for you here and a lot that can go wrong. We haven't seen the ball on the ground a ton tonight by Mount Lebanon. They've done a good job in their meshes, but it looks like they're in the gun and they might try to make something happen.
Coach Hogia suggests he's disappointed you haven't mentioned Junko pulling out the old full house formation. Oh, that's a big stick from Van Helmen, and that looks like that's going to be the last play of the first half.
By Julian Dollar.
My man Hogs, I appreciate you watching. I get good feedback from actual football coaches. That makes me happy because, as you know, my football knowledge is I'm a little bit sensitive about it.
Mount Lebanon 9.
All right, so at halftime, the Panthers lead the Blue Devils by a score of 28-9. We'll let the band take it for a while here, and we will be back before we start the half to talk keys and recap the first half.
Marching bands. And also, keep your eye out down on the Upper St. Clair sideline. We have a special treat for you, Panther fans. You can watch the first ever Panther fan race on the track right in front of you.
All right, so at halftime, the Panthers lead the Blue Devils by a score of 28-9. We'll let the band take it for a while here, and we will be back before we start the half to talk keys and recap the first half.
28-9.
All right, so at halftime, the Panthers lead the Blue Devils by a score of 28-9. We'll let the band take it for a while here, and we will be back before we start the half to talk keys and recap the first half.
The band is led on the field by drum majors Carly Santel and Liam Mulhern. The band's 2024 halftime show is entitled Hit Play and opens with the 1988 hit by Bobby Brown, My Prerogative. Drum majors, is your band ready? Next up is a mashup of two tunes. Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground, performed in 1989 by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the 2022 hit by Harry Styles, Music for a Sushi Restaurant. We close our show with one of Lady Gaga's 2013 hits. Here's Applause. Let's give it up for the Pride of Upper St. Clair. The 2024-25 edition of the band is under the leadership of Band Director Mr. Nick Deutsch, Assistant Director and Percussion Coordinator Mr. Jesse Rhodes, Assistant Percussion Coordinator and Front Ensemble Instructor Mr. Jacob Rice, Assistant Percussion Instructors, Miss Mayike Stewart and Mr. Tommy Starr. Assistant Band Director, Miss Jordan Chappell. Pantherette Guard Coordinator, Mrs. Tammy Lentz. Assistant Pantherette Guard Coordinator, Miss Kate Sloggle. Senior Advisor to the band, Mr. Sam Hazo. On behalf of the staff, students, and parents of the Panther Marching Band, we thank you for your support of band and all of the performing arts programs in the schools. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand one more time for both the Mount Lebanon and Upper St.
All right, we're back. We are about to start the second half. We still have some time left here. The band did their usual absolutely outstanding job. The Pride of the Panthers did. And Alex, Panthers lead 28-9. I feel like the score was a little misleading in certain ways. I know you got some stats for us, but I think the Panthers are a little fortunate to be up 19.
Absolutely. I think Patrick Smith has been really leaned on by the Mount Lebanon coaching staff. He's their leading passer, obviously, with 9 completions on 15 attempts for 94 yards. Does have the lone interception that led to a touchdown, but he's also their leading rusher. They have 21 total rushing attempts. He has 13 of them for only 37 yards, at 2.8 yards per carry, and the lone touchdown for Mount Lebanon as well. Upper St. Clair's definitely kept the star player for Mount Lebanon on the perimeter, Noah Shirelli, in check. Only 3 catches on 5 targets for 27 yards. Just 9 yards per catch, and he's obviously capable of a lot of big things. But on the other side, Upper St. Clair has really done their damage on the ground. They have 16 total carries for 153 yards. Obviously, there have been some big plays, but that's still a 9.6 yards per carry. Dante Corey with the touchdown. He's got 8 for 59. And Ethan Hellman, he's got 3 for 31 in the touchdown. And then you can't forget Julian Dallum, 4 carries for 61 yards. Really showing that he's a threat through the air and on the ground. Pass game, it's been chunky. Ethan's been 5 of 10, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns, both great plays. But they need to be more consistent on the plays that they can make. They don't need to have, a 20, 30, 40-yard play every time. Leading receiver for Upper St. Clair, Bryce Jones, 2 catches, 51 yards, and that beautiful 43-yard touchdown. Dante Corey also with the 2-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, so, obviously, if you ask me what the big play was, I think it's the Caffrey Duplessis interception. 21-9 going into halftime, getting the ball after the big play to Jones, that's great. You're looking good. You're feeling good if you're a Panther fan. But with the interception and then the late touchdown, making it 28-9, getting the ball, I think it's a totally different feel.
That was the first big play on the perimeter defensively by either side. There had been some plays that were pretty close, could have been turnovers, but the big story has been all the pass interference calls. Upper St. Clair has to play a cleaner game, the defensive secondary, and just keep the tempers. I know there's a lot of trash talking. We talked about that. We know Charlie Bylowski. He's been around forever, and he's jarring with Mount Lebanon. Who wouldn't be? I did. Everyone did. But you got to keep your temper in check, and you can't let that get to you.
Yeah, if we sort of check back to our keys as to how we thought the football game would go and how it would win it, the Panthers have really controlled the line of scrimmage like we talked about. They've run the ball beautifully. They have stopped the run. Those 2 things, as you talked about with the stats, have proven. The other thing was the turnovers, and look what happened. The game really changed on a turnover. If you're Mount Lebanon, I think the things you see, the big play, the one score they had was off of the big play where they got the long pass play down the field. And so for me, it's the game has sort of played out like I thought it would. However, the 2 keys for the Panthers have really reared themselves, and is kind of why the score is what it is right now.
Yeah, there have been the 2 huge plays of this game that really broke it wide open, with the interception and then the long touchdown to Bryce Jones. Other than that, you take those away, it's a 5-point game. But at the same time, that's playing clean. Not allowing the big plays, keeping everything in front of you, and then not turning the ball over within your own 20. That's huge. So obviously the score has been earned by Upper St. Clair, but as you said, it's definitely closer than the scoreboard shows.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big disparity in yards or anything like that, and so a lot of times it's why I said I thought it would in many ways come down to those turnovers. And the one thing the Panthers did last year in the games they won, we talked about this, was they really did a nice job of playing clean, but then forcing big plays with the defensive turn of the ball. Because, in high school football, let's face it, you're not going to have super clean games all of the time. These are kids. They make mistakes. You want to be the ones forcing the mistakes as opposed to the ones making them.
And I think something huge that we have to pay attention to, we want to see the pass game evolve to where Ethan Hellman's able to convert on those tough downs. Not necessarily like 3rd and 15, but if you have a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, you get behind the sticks a little bit, I want to see him stick that 10-yard out. I want to see him to be able to hit that seam route. That's really the next step for him. Obviously, he's been able to do a great job for Upper St. Clair. They were, 8-2 last year, had a great season. But his next step is truthfully just carrying the team when they're behind the sticks.
Yeah, no question about it. And he's so capable of it because there's nothing he doesn't have.
Well,
he sees it. He throws it great. He's an athletic. He's competitive.
And it's a very tough thing to do. You see guys on all levels that really aren't able to do that. Even at the NFL level, I don't know how much you've watched the Steelers, but they're not able to do that right now. They get behind the sticks. It's difficult to convert on those third and medium to longs. And I think he has the run game and the offensive line and the perimeter weapons to do it. So I think it's just up to him to trust it, to trust the process, trust the play calling, get his feet in the right spot, and make the throw.
All right, so let's set the kick return team here for the Panthers. Julian Dallum, number 2, is making his way out onto the field. He and Dante Corey are back again as the deep guys. The up men are John Banbury and Charlie Biawalski. We've got number 9, Beck Shields, as one of the short guys, as well as Carter Stein, number 24, the senior. It was good to see his dad, John, before the game. Carter's a unique guy because, I mean, you want to talk about a legacy. His dad played for St. Clair. His 2 uncles played for St. Clair. And his mom was an excellent soccer player and the captain for St. Clair, Stephanie. So, the Stein family is like the first family of St. Clair football, and it's good to see Carter out here playing well. Let's see. We've got Jake Caceres, number 41, there up front. Drew Sanderson, 10. I'm good to see him back. Jonah Seelig, 25. Ryan Hines, the senior, number 14. And number 30, Ethan Blau, the junior. All right, so Mount Lebanon going to put it back into play to start the third quarter. It's going to be the up man again. This is Charlie Biawalski. He hesitates. He cuts. He's good. Get to the outside. He's got some space. Gets it about to the 34 or 35. Pretty good field position for the Panthers.
Great return. That's tough, too, when those kick returns occur like that. It's kind of a me-you situation, almost like a fly ball between an infielder and a shallow outfielder. Great job by Walski, but we have somebody limp right now, number 24, Carter Stein, limping off the field a little bit.
Yeah, I should have never gotten all that praise. That's a typical jinx right there. Carter Stein is outrageously tough, though. I would expect to see him back. All right, so the Panthers starting here. Alex, any change? I feel like they've done pretty much what they've wanted to on the offensive side of the ball. Any changes you expect?
I would continue with the run, but you see at the bottom of the screen, number 6 over top of Dallum. You have that outside leverage. Throw an out route. Let's get some easy completions.
So here's Jules as the Wildcat. They moved Hellman out wide, and Jules is going to get about 3. That's probably the best Mount Lebanon has done against that look so far, but he's still got 3 or 4.
Yeah, and any way you can get him the ball, I think he's probably your best perimeter player at this point. He's been around since he was probably like in 6th grade playing varsity. So, the more that he can touch the ball, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah, it was good to see his brother Ethan down on the field before the game. 2 absolute studs.
Kid's a legend.
2 Whitfield Championship point guards, the Dallum brothers. Just great. All right, here's Jules again. It snaps. He's going to run off tackle right now. He cuts it back. Good gain. Boy, he ran right into Jimmy Green. Came in and really laid the boom on him there. We talked about. Oh no, excuse me. That was 8 Grayson Beck. Coach Junko talked about those big linebackers before the game, and they've been as advertised.
Yeah, and Beck was drawing back with Charlie Biawalski too. So he's definitely a player that plays with passion. He's doing well too.
All right, so 3rd and 1. This is exactly where you want to possess the ball, maintain the ball, get a drive here going. So here comes Corey. Oh, he got stuck. It's going to be really close.
I think they're going to give it to him, though. Whoever that was, the up back, I think it was 23.
Yeah, it's Hellman.
Van Helman absolutely depleted a defensive end. You love to see that in your H-back and your fullback. It's a lost art.
Yeah, so they're not going to give it to him. The far side official had it as a first down. The near side official did not. Looks like the Panthers are going to go for it. I certainly would. They've ran the ball pretty much at will, that last play aside. I would expect that this will be Corey again.
They're definitely doing the tush push.
Oh, no. Have they been practicing this? It's Hellman.
I don't know if he got it, Gavin.
I don't know where he is. He came out of the pile and got it easy. And having a competitive kid like that, he really spun out of that. I think he had the same thought you did, that he may not have had it.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play. Great job by the backs pushing him forward. Great job by him by spinning out, too. Now, that's the thing about Ethan Hellman. He's been around so long. He's seen so many different things. He could will the team to win. But, at this point now, play within the offense. He's got 150 yards behind him in terms of a run game. Four returning starters on the offensive line. Just play within the system, and he'll be asked to win games, and he will. All
right, Dallum, sort of a weird kind of motion situation. Here comes Corey up the middle. He gapped him. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, if he broke that one, it would have been a lot like the touchdown one, but he still got 9. There are big holes right now, Alex.
And I know that we talked a little bit about Banbury not getting as many carries, but I have loved the way Dante Corey has run. He has run with conviction, but unfortunately I think we got a penalty.
Yeah, they called a hold. I didn't hear who on. It's unfortunate because there was a massive hold there. I don't know if that was where the hold was, but the Panther offensive line has absolutely been as advertised today. Unfortunately, we talked about getting behind the sticks as a negative for Mount Lebanon. Also, certainly a negative here for St. Clair. 1st and 20 is not where you want to do, especially when you're running the ball so well.
No, but thanks to the great return by Mawalski and some great runs that have occurred by both Dallum and Corey, I think right now you're in a good position where you're still on the minus 35. I love at the bottom where you can maybe make a play there. But it looks like it's Dallum again on the counter.
That's that same play. No, this is DeRazio this time. It's the same play they ran to Dallum earlier, and again, they get 8 or 9. The interior line right now, I mean, Stoll and Gillespie and Geyer, and Perrine and Fleckenstein are really doing a job in the run game.
To turn a 1st and 20 into 2nd and 12, that's huge. That's huge. The full playbook's open right now, and they just need to get about 6, and then they can try to convert.
Yep, so the good news is they're moving the ball and the clock is moving. That's what you want with the lead here. It's a good drive so far for the Panthers. 2nd and 12. This is Dallum again. It's like the exact same play. Here comes DeRazio. Oh, nice block by Bawalski in the corner. I think DeRazio may go. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown for the Panthers. Nico DeRazio, the junior, takes it to the house. 55 yards.
And Gavin, that was a pass. That was a shovel forward by Dallum, so that's going to go down to the stat book as a touchdown pass. So Dallum showing off his versatility, his quarterback background. Great run by DeRazio.
Yeah, that's called stat padding. Jules is like, hey, I'm a quarterback. I do it all. So I'll tell you what, Alex, it leads me to believe that as much as we've seen that action, they saw something from the scrimmage film.
There had to have been. I mean, you said when you talked to Coach Junko earlier, there weren't any numbers. They could only go off scheme, which sometimes you tend to focus on players rather than the overall big picture, and I think that's worked out for him.
So Jacobo hits the extra point. The Panthers are up 35-9. Big statement drive for the Panthers to start the second half. Got some hellos here, of course. First hello is to my main man, Matty DeRubis, freshman. He's out at Ohio State University, and Matty, I miss you, man. Hope all is well with you. The Okulan family, I love the fact that he and his son both very passionate Panthers, and it's just very nice to have their support, the Coolahans. So thank you all for your love. And who else we got here? I got a great one here. My main man, Mr. Automatic, Bennett Henderson. He's up at Fordham kicking, and he's bragging on Jacobo. I know he's like a proud dad. He said Jacobo got one hell of a leg on him.
He really does. That's 2 great kickers in a row, probably 2 Division I kickers.
Oh, absolutely is. I mean, it's been an embarrassment of riches to have guys that good at the high school game for this long. It's beautiful. All right, so speaking of, here comes Jacobo, kicking the ball back into the game, and that's going to be...
They don't even try.
Yeah, I was disappointed that didn't quite get out of the end zone this time. It reminds you when, like, Aaron Judge hits a home run and the outfielder doesn't even move.
Last call for the 50-50 raffle. Nobody has claimed a ticket. That winning ticket.
So, Gavin, I wouldn't be surprised if Mount Lebanon speeds up the tempo here. Clearly that they have to get away from the run game. They've been averaging less than 4 yards per carry. They've been running the quarterback into the ground. He's been taking a lot of hits. Maybe it's time to open things up, stretch the field. We'll see. St. Clair looks like they're playing 2 safeties, so maybe they're anticipating some kind of downfield action as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, to me, you keep doing that until they either stop it or don't interfere. That's that little screen route, again, and that's a nice little gain from Mount Lebanon. Gets about 4 or 5 on first down. Looks like Carter Stein looks like he's still banged up. So that is Nevin Sheegan-Sinowaski, the sophomore in number 34 at linebacker. So hopefully Carter's okay. He's very important to this football team.
A lot of young guys playing for Upper St. Clair. Probably more than I've really ever seen.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing because that senior class is great, but you can't just win with seniors. St. Clair's just not a big enough school. Here's Smith running wide. Austin Middleton, good pursuit from the nose position. Gets him down before the lead stick. Probably a gain of about 4, so looks like it'll be about 3rd and 1.
Stopped by Michael Albert and Austin Middleton.
I know Josh Helmrich has been upset the amount of time that we've spent
Third
referring to
down
Princeton
and
recruits,
1.
but Mike Albert's again on another tackle.
You know, I love Helmrich and all, but I mean,
He's got to get over it.
come on. That's a nice little run from Smith. He looked like he may have been stopped, and he sort of
Back
picked a
to
different
Smith
hole and
carries.
skirted through.
Yeah, Smith's definitely a really good athlete.
It's a Mount Lebanon
You
first
feel for the
down.
kid taking this many hits. You know, it's either he's getting hit when he's making the throw, Stoll, Fleckenstein, somebody's at his feet, or he's running power and just getting pounded by the linebackers.
Oh, that's Helmrich on this text chain. He must have 2 phone numbers.
Yeah, he's a special guy in
Yeah,
the
well,
NFL.
when you work for the NFL, you probably have 5 phones. That's a screen pass. Nice pursuit from Van Helmen. Also a shout-out to Charlie Bywalski, who kind of blew that up by going through the blocker, forcing him back inside.
They've seen that so many times that it was only a matter of time before St. Clair kind of adjusted to it. So great job by the defense.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've been a little passive on some of those plays, but that was pretty impressive in terms of the way they filled that.
Stop at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
All right, 2nd and 10. Much better there from the Panthers. Force them in long situations. Good things are going to happen. Smith's looking wide again. That's that same screen. Lots of room there. Caceres comes up. Another help from Hellman.
Who was 34?
Yeah, he came in late. That's Nevin Sheegan-Sinowaski again.
Yeah, but you got to love it. He finished that play. He was still active. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a 5-yard gain there. I get it, but you know, that's Chris Kambitsis, the running back linebacker there out in the backfield. So 3rd and 5. Kind of a big play for the Blue Devils here. They cannot afford to give it up this quickly. Oh, look at Hellman. He looked like he got held. And Bobby Fleckenstein almost gets him to the ground. Now Mike Albert. And here comes Beck Shields to finish. I'll tell you what, Bobby Fleckenstein has not played that much on defense, but when he has been on the field, he has been really productive, 73.
You might think that the coaches see him as kind of a pass rush specialist. Maybe he does well in those type of 3rd and long situations, 2nd and long situation. So St. Clair forcing another punt. Let's see if we can get a big return here, Gavin. And don't hit the punter.
No, absolutely not. All right, good defensive drive for the Panthers. Malone boots it off. That one's not quite as good. He's just going to let it go, get out of the way. So not a particularly good punt, and it's going to be good. Field position for the Panthers at the 28. Got another Panther down. I'm hoping it's a cramp. It looks like it may be a cramp. Yeah, it's definitely a cramp because the Lebo guy's over helping him out. That's what you like to see. Rivalry aside, you got to help your brothers who are cramping.
So, Gab, I know that you're the shout-out king, but I got a few of my own.
Oh, good. By all means.
So I know she had a very busy night as I was running out the door around 6 o'clock. But shout-out to my wife, Carissa. I know she's tuned in, and our daughter, Audrey, is not. Hopefully, that would be kind of a rough night for her. I know Chong and Lisa are definitely out on the patio watching the game right now. You mentioned young Oz up in Boston, and then Tim Kikta, his wife Caroline, their daughter Evie, and Matt Kikta, his wife Brittany, and their daughter Hallie are all watching.
Very nice. I love it. My man Mike McKenzie, golf team with me, class of 95. His son Connor is the absolute stud on the golf team right now. He's been the medalist, I think, in every match they've had so far. So, Mikey, I appreciate you. Always loves the broadcast and always a big supporter. He and his wife Kristen, I've known them both forever.
I'll tell you what, it is cool to see the response whenever you post that out. So many alums and people who were involved in the program getting excited to watch it. It's cool. It's been a great idea.
I'm super biased. We know this, okay? But I mean, look, my basketball family's been, outside of my immediate family, the best thing in my life. So, yes, I'm proud of this whole thing, and I think it's amazing. Okay, here comes Corey. Bounces off his own lineman and gets about 10. I'll tell you what, Alex, this is what I'm going to look for on this drive. You saw huge holes there. I mean, Brock Gillespie had a guy basically on the ground in the backfield. Is Mount Lebanon getting a little frustrated, tired, whatever?
Yes. Anytime you have a team run the ball with this type of success and be up by this amount, it gets frustrating. I wouldn't be surprised to see it get a little chippy, especially in the trenches, maybe some late hits, maybe some jawing back and forth. But right now, it looks like that St. Clair has is that a new QB?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's Dallum.
He breaks the tackle, scoots to the outside. I'll tell you what, that is a heck of a
Julian
4-yard
Bell
gain.
on the keeper.
He had almost nothing, made 2 guys miss, got to the boundary and got 4, which is, that's big on first down.
And Gav, I made one terrible omission. I forgot Oz's very lovely girlfriend, Sarah DeCenzo. She's also watching. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, you don't want to screw that up. You don't want to be unpopular with the siblings, significant others. I got to go down and see my wife and son at the game at halftime, which was awesome. It's good to see my 4-year-old getting interested in Panther sports. All right, 2nd and 5, 3:46 to play here. It's Dante Corey again. Big hole up the middle. Good hard run. What I like about him right now is he's just hitting the hole, man. He's going.
He's been fantastic. Only a junior. Did have some carries last year when it was kind of a running back by committee. But right now it looks like that they just have Dallum in, and they are just running the ball.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing in terms of if you love longtime Panther football. I hope Coach Render's watching this because he would be loving this right now. They're going to throw a little bit here. Here's Dallum. He's going to get a little throwing because, he is a quarterback and nothing open. He's going to throw it away and live to play another day.
Dallum's pass incomplete.
But I like the fact that they are putting it in people's heads that he's not just in to run out of the Wildcat. He can throw it. Kind of keep people honest a little maybe.
I was kind of surprised that he didn't take off there. I feel like that he had one man to beat. He being one of the most versatile and athletic players in the WIBIO, not shocked that he was on the perimeter and could have made a play, but lived to play another down.
He's trying to rack up the passing yards right now, Alex, after he got credit for that shovel pass touchdown. All right, so 2nd and 10 here for the Panthers. It's Dallum again in the Wildcat. Now it gets to Corey right up the middle. And frankly, the only reason he didn't get a bigger gain there than the 5 or 6 he got is because he tripped over one of his linemen's legs. But, man, the holes are huge. This is beautiful to watch, Alex, because this is what I had sort of hoped from this Panther team with the line they had coming back. To be able to impose your will on teams in these situations is beautiful.
Especially a 6A team. And, this has chewed up the entire quarter. This has been straight downhill. Nothing's been cute or anything like that. It's been, we're going to run ISO and we're going to run it right at you.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so 3rd and 5. They fake to Corey. Here comes Dallum. Oh, he spun off him. There he goes. Can he get to the corner? He's got him. Easy business. 33 yards. Julian Dallum. The fake, the counter, and the touchdown. And the Panthers are rolling, Alex.
He's been, he might have over 100 yards at this point. He's been extremely impressive. I have to run over and check with Mitch Fawcett and the stat team. But yeah, that was a drive, Gavin. Jim Render would be thrilled with that drive.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these are the demoralizing drives. And when you have playmakers, and let's not kid ourselves, Julian Dallum is the playmaker. You put the ball in their hands. Oh, we got the backup kicker here getting some reps. And looks like he drilled that one. That's Ryan Popp on senior night. I believe Ryan's a soccer player as well, so
2:24 to go in the
gets
third
an
quarter.
extra point on senior night. That's
Yeah.
great to see.
Blue
So
Devils
with
9.
2:24 to go in the third quarter, the Panthers lead 42-9. Wow. I'll tell you right now, I did not have this on my bingo card, Alex.
No, absolutely. You think no matter what, St. Clair plays Mount Lebanon, it's going to be tight. Even the years with Sean Lee, even the years when St. Clair won the state championship game, this was always tight. It's good to see that all the fans are still in the stands. There are probably some seniors that are going to get some opportunities that they'll remember for a long time. But I'm honestly shocked that St. Clair has been able to move the ball at will, and it looks like they've really settled down and found their identity.
Yeah, this is almost mercy rule, and that's hard for me to believe. Oh, I got a great shout out here from my main man Terry Lewis. I haven't heard from my man T. Lewis in a long time. My former colleague at Thorpe Reed at Armstrong, now senior counsel at UPMC. T, great to hear from you, buddy. I'm glad you're listening, and I hope life is well for you. So, let's see if now it looks like mostly the regulars here on the kick team don't want to mess with letting teams back in the game with long special teams plays. Too early for that.
Yeah, you got to wonder, it's still the third quarter. What kind of personnel is Mount Lebanon going to be thrown out? I know this is their first game under a new coaching staff. It's tough. These kids have had 3 coaches in the past 3 years. Let's see what happens.
Definitely one of the most entertaining parts of the game so far has been Jacobo kicking off. Again, he mishits it and gets it across the goal line. That's insane.
I don't think he's had a returnable kick this entire night.
Well, the one they squibbed short, the first one of the game, and then apparently they went away from that strategy. I will say this, because we've talked about this multiple times, having that weapon to basically just totally take out and neutralize a return game is incredibly important, because there are some really great, your Ryan Petruses of the world, really great returners in this league. So that's just a beautiful weapon. All right, so let's see what the Blue Devils have to offer here. Smith's still in the game at the quarterback position. He's looking to throw. He's chucking it down the field into double coverage. Oh boy, Shirelli. And we got another flag. It looked like Johnny DeSora had reasonable good coverage, but did he yank him a little bit on
There may have been a jersey grab there. I'm not really sure where it occurred. Ref must have seen something. I thought it was good. Like I said, they've been fighting downfield all night. Both receiver, DB, both sides of the ball. It's tough.
I'm just shocked. Oh, we got a replay here. Let's see. Boy, there did not look like much, and that was a pretty good angle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have drawn a new
I'm a total homer. I understand that, but there didn't look like much. That was pretty good coverage from Gianni.
No, and we usually see it in real time. I mean, with the jerseys today, it's tough to hide it.
Yeah, black, all white particularly. So, okay, another first down. And again, I'm surprised they don't go down the field a lot because it's been successful. Here's the center screen. And they got a good gain here. That's going to get about 11 or 12 there. Number 15, Chris Cambeatsis. I think they set that up really well. That turned out to be a really nice play for the Blue Devils.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 50-50
Gab, did you play the 50-50?
I did not play the 50-50. But somebody is a big crowd. Somebody could win big. All right. So Blue Devils almost in Panther territory here. They're looking to that wide screen again. Here comes Smith's going to go. He cuts it upfield. He's going to get another first down, and Blue Devils are moving upfield. Again, I still think the Panther defense, I would just say, has kind of been okay so far.
Yeah, and I think they were playing a lot of the second team, especially to start this drive. However, I think they've said enough's enough, and I just saw Nate Stoll run back into the game. That may have been his decision.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. All right, so 1st and 10 on the 42. And then Stoll gets in and immediately jumps off sides. He was so fired up to get back in and make a difference that he jumped there. All right, so see if the Panthers can't get another turnover here. That's been part of the story here, but the other part of the story has been a real dominant performance from the offensive line of the Panthers. Let's see if the defense can get a little stout here and hold. 1st and 5 for the Blue Devils. Smith is back. Another screen. Cambeatsis again. Gets to the corner. He's got about 12 or 13 inside the Panther 25. Another first down for the Blue Devils.
Well-designed play, especially towards Stoll. Anytime you can play a pass rush like he has in his arsenal against the defense, it's going to work. I mean, obviously you have the back-end guys who can make a play, but that was well-designed.
Yeah, absolutely was. Like I said, I've liked the way their offense has operated on average. Smith throwing up the middle. Nice catch. That was a little behind him. Did a nice job turning back for that football. Going to be a gain of 9 on first down, but really nice concentration. That was the back out of the backfield. That was Sam McCauley.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch. That was kind of one of those Hines Ward routes where, he didn't have any ACL, so he couldn't make exactly the squarest in cut, so he'd kind of round it off the hash. And nice catch, too, off the body behind him.
All right, so another first down for the Blue Devils. They are driving here. This is Smith again, looking to run. Not much there. Brock Gillespie really stout at the point of attack there. Beck Shields, number 9, came in to help seal that line, and good stuff from the Panthers there. Not much of a gain at all.
Brought down by the entire defensive
You just have to wonder if, as the third quarter ends, kind of the feeling on Mount Lebanon's sideline, it's obviously tough. No matter what level you play, anytime there's coaching turnover, it just makes things so difficult. There's no synergy, there's no familiarity, and each coach is going to bring in, unless it's an internal hire, a brand new offense, brand new defense, brand new staff members. The coaches have to learn the kids and vice versa. So maybe this is the chance for Mount Lebanon to kind of test out their offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, frankly, I don't think I know they only have 9 points. I don't feel. Oh, it looks like we've got a report from our sideline reporter. I think Emily is down there. Let's send it down to the sideline.
Thanks, guys. And it is clear that the momentum has switched on this Upper St. Clair sideline after that second quarter and going into this third half. I spoke to their head coach, Mike Junko, going into the half, and he said that momentum switched when their quarterback, Ethan Hillman, settled in. He said that there were some early on nerves, some missed pass opportunities, but once he settled in, he said his offense locked in. He said going into this second half, he wants his defense to be off of the field. He says that his goal is to just not see his defense on the field, and I would say he's doing a pretty good job of that as they are up by 42 right now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you talked about, Alex. He just needed to settle into the football game. All right, so it's that wide pass again. Nice job in support there. That's Gianni DeSora, Agent Zero, the senior, coming up, making the tackle at the point of attack.
That's a great play because, honestly, it just comes down to one-on-one in the open field. Great tackle in the open field by DeSora.
That brings up.
Yeah, Gianni's a competitive kid, good hooper, member of our Whitfield team last year. Good to see him. And shout out to his sister, Natalie, who just committed to Wake Forest for soccer this week. All right, third down here. Smith is back to throw. He has that flat route again out to the right. Oh, it's dropped. It was Cambitsis again. I don't think he was going to get the first down because DeRazio was there, but he had a chance to get a lot of that yardage there and get him a more manageable fort.
And when you're down by 33 points, everything really becomes four-down territory, especially when you're in the red zone. So that would have been a big help to Mount Lebanon, especially because they still can get a first down. We'll see what happens.
Man, Bethel Park is taking Seneca Valley to the woodshed 36-7. That's going to be a slobber knocker when the Blackhawks come to town. All right, fourth down here. Smith looking to throw. He's got an out route. It's Shirelli again. He's just so big and strong that he just sort of sealed him. And, I mean, it was good coverage from Charlie, but he just couldn't get around him.
And I don't know who's down in the end zone, but it looks like a cramp, so hopefully nothing too serious. But he was running free on a seam route. Hopefully we can see the number here in a minute. So, like I mentioned before, Patrick Smith, he's a junior linebacker. Obviously still new to the quarterback position, especially at the 6A level. He'll learn Coach Perry's offense, and as he kind of grows into this position, he'll make those throws and find those reads, but week 0 is tough.
Yeah, it is. First and goal from the 5. Here's Smith rolling out. Fleckenstein chasing. Can Fleck get him? He couldn't. Smith's going to walk it in. Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a 3-sport athlete, basketball, baseball, football, very athletic. Heard he's just a fabulous kid from the basketball coaches, and he certainly fits the mold in terms of an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, at 6'3", 220, to be able to outrun a DB like that, that's very impressive.
So the Blue Devils back on the scoreboard, and that's going to make it 42-15 with extra point pending.
Ooh.
So that's 2 extra points missed from the Blue Devils. So, that's something they're going to have to clean up as the season goes along. It probably doesn't matter tonight. But there's been some mistakes on that side of the ball. But you love to have a sort of an easy win, particularly over a rival in week 1 or week 0, Alex. But I have a feeling there's been enough bad on the defensive side of the ball tonight that the coaches will have their attention in film tomorrow.
It's been a difficult go for Upper St. Clair, probably between the 20s if I had to put it in like a yardage form. St. Clair has given up a lot. They've had a lot of defensive backfield penalties. They've given up some big plays, and they've also had some situations where Mount Lebanon's missed some big plays. As you're trying to compete for a Whitfield championship, especially at the higher level, 5A, 6A, there are teams who do not have 3-year coaching turnover, who do not have to learn the same offense over and over, and they've basically been running the same offense since they were in 7th grade, so they know that when the safety expands on the fade route, they hit the crosser. They go into high school knowing that, whereas you're a junior or a senior, you have to learn your 3rd offense in 3 or 4 years. St. Clair just needs to kind of buckle down, especially in the backfield.
Peters Township has taken the lead now on Cannon Mac, 21-17. Here's Dante Corey on the kickoff return. Gets to the outside, spins, and easily the best field position of the day for the Blue Devils. They kicked it deeper there, and St. Clair only got to the 24-yard line, so much better stuff from Mount Lebanon on the kick game.
So
Brought
it looks
down
like to me that
at the
Josh
24.
Snyder, the freshman,
First
is
down.
entering the game at quarterback.
Upper
And I saw
St.
him in warm-ups, Gavin.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your
And I
attention,
thought
please?
Ethan Hellman had switched
There was
from
an
13 to
iPhone
3.
with
So
a
this kid is
purple
going to be special.
OtterBox
He
case.
is outrageously
That was a little bit
talented.
decrepit on the backside.
He plays basketball
It
and
has been
football,
lost,
and
but
he
it has been turned
is
into the concession
super
stand.
athletic,
If you're
super
missing an
super good
iPhone
arm.
with a purple
Obviously, he
OtterBox
has
case that has
unbelievable
been
athletic
worn down,
bloodlines. His
please
uncle
go to the
Cullen
concession stand.
and I graduated together. Cullen was the
Now
best
in at
athlete
quarterback, number
in our
3,
class by
Josh
far.
Snyder.
And yeah, I mean he's the future, no question about it. And next to him, who do we have? I couldn't see the number.
It's like 31. No, there's no 31 on
So
the team.
21, Max Ligier, the sophomore. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of the backups are in the game. My man Ryan Robbins in
Handoff goes to number 21,
at
Max
offensive
Ligier.
right tackle. Chase Cheese Kazmarzik is in at right guard.
And Ryan Hines,
down
number
by
14.
Chris
Yeah, the senior.
He's a Deerfield
Second and
Manor
8.
man.
He's another senior. Randy Ann is to the bottom of the screen, another receiver. All right, here comes Josh Schneider to the outside. He's going to run it. He's going to keep it. Nice cut up. Gets pretty close to the lead stick there, and
Josh
I
Schneider
think
on
he's
the
going to have a
keeper.
first down.
Yeah, and, he's listed at 6'1", 175 as a freshman, a kid moving that fast. He looked great.
First
Yeah.
down,
Looks like Grady
USC.
Elias is in at left guard, the sophomore. Another, and it looks like Ryan LaRocco, the senior, is in at backup center. So it's really nice to see some of these seniors on the field. We got Gianni DeSora in the slot there, number 0, another senior. And the clock is rolling. Panthers lead 42-15, 9:48 to go in this football game.
Yeah, this is great reps for him. I mean, to be a freshman and to be the number 2 guy, getting these meaningful reps against a rival 6A team, the stands still look pretty packed.
Max
So
Ligier.
he's definitely getting the experience. I mean, obviously it's
Stopped by
a 27-point
Huff.
game, but this is something that they
Second
can
and
build
8.
upon.
Things have changed so much. I mean, you used to never see a freshman at all. Now we had, Hellman played a lot as a freshman. Banbury played a lot as a freshman. McCardle was like the only one I ever knew for a time to do it. And, it's funny to watch Josh Schneider as a freshman wear that number 3. I mean, it'll forever remind me of Mac McCardle. And, yeah, he got a chance to be a special one. Here he comes to the right. Breaks a tackle from Patrick Smith, no less. Gets it upfield. And I'll tell you what, he looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield. He ended up getting about 6 or 7 yards. That is a strong kid for a ninth grader.
Yeah, especially, Patrick Smith, 6'3", 220, junior, experienced guy. I mean, he's probably a little gassed, admittedly, having carried the ball probably 20, 25 times tonight, thrown it probably another 20, but great play by Josh Snyder.
Yeah, very impressive stuff. Yeah, it's just, we've talked about this. Depth is so important when you're playing 5A, 6A football, and, getting quality reps in week 0 for a lot of your guys is a beautiful thing.
And you got to give credit to Coach Junko, too, probably telling him, stay in bounds, let's run this out, go home.
Nice little cut to the outside. That's Snyder again.
And then he runs out of bounds. But, good run, move the chains, and the clock should not stop and reset. So that was really moot at that point.
Yeah, Noah Lilja,
With
another senior
Panthers
receiver, has checked into the
first
football
down.
game now. And there is a 31.
47.
No idea. We don't have the 31 on our roster, but Logan Lipinski, number 29, is also in the game now to the bottom of your screen at the receiver spot. So, yeah, I mean, it's great to see so many guys getting some reps here. And
I know they're up by 4 touchdowns, but I really want to see this kid throw the ball. I mean, he had a quick, tight release, was putting the ball on the correct shoulder. I just want to see him throw it around a little bit.
there's the handoff to the gentleman that I do not know who he is. I apologize. I am only as good as my roster, but we do not have a 31 here.
Ball is carried to the 46, second down and 9.
And it didn't sound like the announcer quite had an idea either.
Hey, everybody it's week 0 for everybody. I promise you I will find that out during the bye week, or I think we're away next week at Cannon McMillan, but believe me, next time I am back, I will know who that is. We are running to about 7 minutes left now, 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Here's Snyder again. He's running to the left. They come and try. They just can't get him to the ground. really impressive to have that type of strength and ability to make people miss, as a ninth grader.
Yeah, and being that athletic really helps out Coach Junko right now. You don't want to show too much of the playbook, and a lot of the younger guys probably aren't as comfortable with a lot of the playbook. So for him to just be able to run QB sweep right, QB sweep left, it's some old school football, but hey, they're moving the ball.
Yeah, it is good to see, although, we got 3rd and 7 here and going to try to have to convert. You might get to see him throw here. He is going. He's looking downfield. He throws it, and it is intercepted. I don't think he saw the linebacker there. Nice tackle by Ryan Hines, but the interception is made by Grayson Beck, who's been really tough in the linebacker spot tonight. And, again, it was 3rd down, not a big deal, but not what you want to see on your first pass.
No, tough deal. I will tell you this. If every quarterback wasn't going to throw an interception, it'd be a different game. But that probably won't be his last one that he ever throws. But, it happens, and it's difficult. When you run those sprint outs right, you want to get depth, you want to be controlled. But, when you're 14 years old and you're under Friday Night Lights, you're thinking, okay, I got to catch the ball and I got to run as fast as I can. I know Patrick Smith is on the backside, he's barreling down, and I'm going to make this throw, and it's going to be a first down. He was kind of flat out of it, and I totally get it. I've been there. Every person who's ever played quarterback's been there, but he'll bounce back.
All right, thrown down the field. Nice. That's a good catch, but the tackle was made again by Cafferty Duplessis, and good stuff from the Panthers. Oh, it looks like number 31. They're thinking it's Luca Corey. He's listed as 22. In the program, but my main man Mark Gaither is telling me he thinks it's Luca. His son Andrew is also a football player in 9th grade. If anybody would know, Gaith would probably know. So thanks, Gaith. I'll take your word for it. I hope it is Luca. Great kid.
Quarterback number 10, Brady Wagner.
So I think I just heard Brady Lackner was in the game. Let me see, at quarterback for Mount Lebanon.
Yeah, I think that's right. They're going to run it now here up the middle. Gets a pretty good gain. Grady Elias at the line of scrimmage making the tackle.
Powers his way to the 49.
Time is moving here, and I'm sure the Panthers, regardless of whether they're subbing, I don't think they want to give up any more points, only because you want that score to look as ugly as you can against your rival. But got a couple of second-team linemen in here. There's Big Cheese at the nose position. Big Ryan Robbins, the sophomore, number 78 on the left side.
And so, Gavin, I misspoke earlier. Brady Wagner.
Wagner.
Sophomore, number 10 for Mount Lebanon is currently in. I thought it was a relative of the great CMU coach Rich Lackner, but doesn't seem to be the case. Nope.
So they got about 6 or so there. They're pushing back from behind. Mount Lebanon still has a lot of their regulars in the game here. Sam McCauley is still at the back position, although they did sub at the quarterback spot. It sort of figures. I mean, they when you are getting smacked a little bit, like, you got a little more to work on. And so, I do think their offense has been pretty good tonight, but they're going to take every rep they can take, a live rep.
Yeah, and just putting it together. I mean, obviously it'll be a tough week of practice, but Mount Lebanon has a great program. They'll bounce back.
All right, this is another back, number 20, getting to the outside. Pretty good job by DeSora, making him check off his route here. That's Liam DeLuca, the sophomore. And pretty good stuff from Gianni. I think he stopped him short of the lead stick, so it's probably going to be about 3rd and, let's say, 2.
And now if you're St. Clair, none of your guys are in there right now. You got to get all the starters out. You're moved on at this point. With 4 minutes left, Mount Lebanon has their second team in. You just got to get out of here healthy.
They're going to throw. Oh, a nice little pass. That's number 33 for the Blue Devils there, and that is Maxton Siegel, the sophomore, and they're going to move the sticks again. So, they're running the same sort of offensive concepts that are giving the Panthers little problems, and that was a nice little slant for a first down.
First down, Mount Lebo.
All right. They're back to throw again. It's going to be that center screen again, and he makes another man miss, gets down inside the 10-yard line. Good gain for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, nice run by DeLuca.
First down, Blue Devils at the 10.
So you got to give the kids credit, Gavin. Both student sections still filled to the brim. You know, obviously, with Outback Steakhouse no longer being here, there's nowhere really to go right down the street, but credit to those kids.
So that's going to be a Blue Devil touchdown, Liam DeLuca. So
10-yard run.
all it does really is make the score look a little bit more respectable, which I'm sure there's some St. Clair people who would rather bury him. But Mount Lebanon does score again, gets now 42-21 with extra point pending, and we have 3:19 left to play in this football game here.
Brody Lowe's extra point is good.
All right, so
3:19 to go in the fourth quarter.
be interesting to see here. I'm assuming
Panthers 42,
it will be
Blue
some of the
Devils
second team
22.
offense again for the Panthers, but hopefully they can, at the very least, possess the ball and sort of see this game out.
Yeah, and this is big for Josh Snyder. You know, obviously, tough play to end the
Fans
drive, but
following the alma
he
mater
did
are
have a very
proud of Upper
successful,
St. Clair
sustained
marching
drive.
band
He
drumline
took care of the
who
ball.
played
He made some
post-game
great runs.
performance outside the
Young
arts
kid,
entrance.
going to be fine. Just has to
Stop
bounce back
by
this
and
next
feel
drive.
free to join in on the
So as we sort of
celebration.
wind down here, Alex, what are your takeaways? Do you have any general takeaways here? You know, and they can be certainly for the Panthers, obviously, also for the Blue Devils. What do you think we can sort of extrapolate from what we've seen tonight?
Well, I think our keys to the game were completely accurate, or rather your keys to the game, Gavin. St. Clair controlled both lines of scrimmage. I mean, on defense, yes, they did have some gash plays, bend don't break, but at the end of the day, they didn't really give the ball up and allow them to score touchdowns. You know, it's important to count by 6s and 7s and not 3s. And then the run game for St. Clair, Dante Corey was outstanding. And then obviously Julian Dallum really stepped up at the Wildcat QB position as well as some trickery plays. But, ooh, that's a tough kick.
How did that stop? Here comes Gianni DeSora. Here he goes, number 0. Boy, he did a great job there. I think he assumed the ball would go out of bounds. It didn't, but he is such an athletic kid, and he had good change of direction there. Got all the way out to almost the 35, 36-yard line.
Yeah, great composure by him. You know, obviously, I think everyone in the stadium thought that ball was going out of bounds, but
He's taken
great
down
job by
inside the
Gianni to
40,
pick it up and
first
make
down
something happen.
for the Panthers.
So, oh no, he got all the way out to the 38. I apologize. So, the Panthers, looks like it will be Josh Snyder again here. I do want to give a shout out once again to our sponsors before we sign off. I don't have to give you the whole plug, but Stalwart Insurance Agency, Victorian Finance, thank you again for your sponsorship of St. Clair football. We really appreciate you. All right, so we've got Snyder and what we believe to be Luca Corey in the backfield, 2 ninth graders. Not sure what's happening here. Did we get a timeout?
Timeout. Upper St. Clair.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication, which is exactly what you expect when you have 2 ninth graders back there.
Anytime you see the palms up by the quarterback, you know there was some kind of miscommunication. I don't know who's still listening, but I remember one year it was a tight game against Bethel Park, and I thought Tim Kicked had gotten the play. You know, sometimes we shuffled receivers in. We didn't really have the signals that you see in the spread offenses today. Tim thought that I got the play. We get into the huddle, and there was no play. So we called stretch, we ran it, we got out of Dodge, and we moved on to the next one. But that's every quarterback's been there, but hopefully not too often.
No, I think if you were there too often, you wouldn't probably be the quarterback.
You wouldn't have the opportunity to be there.
Particularly for Coach Render. All right, Panthers back. Here comes Snyder. Here comes Corey. This is that's not legal, is it?
Nope. All right, we got a flag.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
That was a vicious tackle. Quentin Garland, the senior, man, aggressive. Yeah, I don't think he needed to. There was a little bit of a gap, although number 11, Jonas Boyd, looked like he probably could have made that play. Jonas Boyd's mom, Taryn, is a very good friend of mine from back in the day, and one of the best photographers in this area, Blue Hippo Photography. So shout out to Taryn. I'm sure she's at the game as opposed to watching my broadcast, but shout out to the Boyd family. All right, so that's going to obviously give them 15 yards there. The Panthers are into Blue Devil territory. Clock rolling under 3 here, Alex, and see what the Panthers can do here. See if they can get a garbage TD here, maybe. Here comes Corey again. Oh, that's a beautiful cut.
Is he the younger Dante Corey?
Almost has to be. So This will be the third Corey in about a 5 or 6 year span. The oldest brother, who was a senior last year, is probably at Penn State right now. So he's a fabulous kid. And now and that was Grant. And now you have Luca, who I mean, it's spelled the same, I have to assume. But either way.
Great run.
Yeah, very
great
good.
Backs.
Yeah, Corey family can play. They got some chops. 21, Max Ligier's back in the game here, the sophomore. Also making some changes at the wideout spot. Logan Lipinski back in 29. Snyder's got, little miscommunication there. Snyder's going to roll out to the right.
Stay in bounds. Oh.
Well, he did get the first down. I will give him credit. So it
will roll.
Yeah.
Well, good job by Snyder. I mean, he was trying to direct the running back. I mean, again, a lot of these kids' first varsity snaps, tough deal. You don't get a ton of reps during the week. It's just great that they are getting these reps. It makes the next ones that much easier. And good job by Josh Snyder really being composed.
All right, minute 45 to play here. The Panthers have a fresh set of downs. Snyder gets the snap. This is Ligier. Takes it to the outside. Ooh, good run. He makes 2 men miss, 3 men miss. Gets all the way up across the 25 for about a gain of 5 or 6. Good hard run there from the Panthers.
Brought down by number 44.
Everybody who's carried the ball tonight for the Panthers has really, done a good job. And, obviously kudos to the line, but I also think, they've ran hard, they've ran straight, they've gotten north-south. It's been really good stuff from the Panther backs tonight.
Well, I think that because the offensive line is such a strength by the current Upper St. Clair team, it builds a culture for the guys behind them to really take pride in their craft. And they go up against 4 of the best, 5 of the best offensive linemen in the WIPIO every day. So when they're doing drills, they get to see the example. And so that's going to trickle down to the second team, to the third team, to those younger guys to have a good example.
I got to give a shout-out before we go to the Upper St. Clair Tech squad. Always amazing. Ray Barat and his crew, my man Todd, Paul J., Michael Binkley, all those guys. Here comes Snyder running to the outside. And he does get out of bounds. Not a big gain there, but I think the clock's still going to roll at this point. And I'm not sure that may be it.
Yeah, it's under the play clock. This is going to be the game. So St. Clair is rolling out of here with a 20-point win in week 0.
Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful than, leaving with a comfortable, convincing win over that school down to the north, down Route 19. And there's going to be some big smiles in the handshake line right now for your Panthers. But the final score, your Panthers move to 1-0 with a convincing 42-22 win over the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils on senior night. Alex, what are your thoughts? How do we put a capper on this baby?
I think if St. Clair has found their identity. They have a lot of playmakers. They're going to run the ball. And there's a lot of misdirection in this offense, especially in the run game. Anytime you put an athlete like Julian Dallum at quarterback and you feel comfortable with him throwing the ball or running it, I mean, that's difficult for any defense to defend. Ethan Hellman, as our sideline reporter discussed, really settled in the second half, led a lot of great drives. He's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the WIPIO on experience alone. Talent, he has that too. So it's kind of a situation where you get those first night jitters out. I mean, how long have you been waiting for this moment? He's started so many games, and I know I'm biased to the quarterback, but I think the offense really goes through him. And how far can this team go? It's going to be on him. Obviously, there are going to be days where you're not going to be able to run for 250, 300 yards like St. Clair did tonight. And he's going to have to carry that team on his shoulders with his arm. And I think he's more than capable of doing that. He's made great decisions over his career. So I'm really excited to see how he does this season.
And, defensive side of the ball, front seven was excellent, but I thought, there was some struggling in the secondary, definitely some flags that probably need to be cleaned up, a couple big plays. I'm guessing that'll be a focal point probably this week.
Absolutely. Yeah, and anytime, Coach Donati talked about, they were going to try to press the receivers. They were playing up close to the line. They knew that they had really one key receiver that they were going to go to, so it'll be different next week. It'll be different in the coming 8 weeks after that, but we'll see what happens in the fans is storming the field.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a big celebration. We'll let them take it from there. I think Lily's probably going to get down there to do a little Lily's going to be down there doing an interview in a little bit, but this is what, to me, what high school football is all about. Celebrating with your buddies, the pageantry, seeing all of this, this energy and emotion when you whoop your rival down, and it's a beautiful thing to see from a biased Panther guy. I love the fact that they're all going to have a beautiful night. Remember this for a long time.
I mean, my wife wanted to look at houses in Mount Lebanon. Obviously, we did, but at the end of the day, we ended up back here. So it runs deep. I know my dad went through the same thing when they were looking for a house in the South Hills. And let's see if security can kind of keep this under control.